day. Hatfield, better care, better pork. And by Optimum Fiber. Don't take slow for an answer.
And a very good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to an absolutely beautiful day in downtown Toronto. The Rogers Centre, the roof is wide open. It is Canada Day, and there are flags, the maple leafs, the red and white flags, all the way from the left field foul pole all the way around the ballpark. There are all kinds of maple leafs all over the field, in the infield right now. We're going to not start on time, obviously. They've got a big presentation pronounced here, and everyone is in red. Most of them are in their red Blue Jays Vladdy jerseys, which they gave out. People were lined up around the block. When we got here earlier this morning, they were in chairs. They had been here since last night to line up to get one of the 18,000 red shirts that they were passing out for Canada Day with Vladdy on them, and that's what they have done here. It's going to be absolutely packed to the gills. It is Canada Day, and if you don't know what Canada Day is and when it's
each a sinker, a cutter, and
when they joined all these parts of what was called the province of Canada. The United Province of Canada, where we are right now, became Ontario. Canada East became Quebec, and then you had Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. They became 4 provinces, and they were called the Dominion of Canada, which is why it was Dominion Day. It was changed in 1982 to Canada Day, and actually I was reading about the flag, because it's fascinating. The flag was designed by an army general, but the colors were King George of England in the early 20s. He actually decided that the colors of the Canadian flag should be red and white, and it's the maple leaf in the middle and 3 sections, red, white, and red. And that is what this ballpark looks like. They're going to have all kinds of things here. They have all kinds of military things coming, the Navy, the Army, the Air Force. They were going to have a flyover. I think it's back on now, because when we got here, the roof was closed, but they've got all kinds of... This place is packed already, and the game isn't going to start for another half an hour. So welcome to Canada Day. There is a ball game that is going to be played, and obviously it...
Celebra tú también con Betcris.
I'm Jonathan Mayo, and for more than 20 years, I've traced the path of baseball's rising stars, navigating the back roads of the national pastime and basking in the glow of small-town America's spirit, where the team is woven into the fabric of everyday life, where it's more than just a game. It's a celebration of the people, the traditions, and the culture that give these places their soul. This is Grassroots.
and Tim Hill are evidently up every day. I know they're not, but they are. So how do you try and keep guys who say, I'm fine, in top?
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
From about 1905 to 1925 or so, teams actually issued cardigans as part of their team uniform. In that era, knitwear was actually having a heyday in sports. Think of ski sweaters or Argyle sweater vests on the Gulf Green. And baseball decided to jump on the bandwagon and create cardigans.
See the fastball commands his calling card, so.
What is it that kind of got you hooked as a foodie, so to speak?
My dad was really into food when I was a kid. He traveled for work and he would go to places all over Europe and stuff. He was in sales and I feel like he would come home and try and cook the things he ate overseas. And so as a kid, I was exposed to a lot of like stuff that kids aren't usually exposed to, and so I credit my dad for that.
Tony Gwynn drop I did with his estate. So we just signed a deal at therealist.com to actually go through his entire archives, present them, and auction them off. And to announce it, we did this limited edition 1994 The Lost Season card. Because, you know, between August of 93 and May of 95, Tony Gwynn batted .406 in 162 games. So in the back, we have the stats of what could have been.
There's so much history here. And when I put it on and it's so light, it just feels just right. It feels just right. I mean, look at this. It got the city on it. When I was 7 years old, my uncle takes me where? To Shea Stadium. Darryl Strawberry hits a home run and I become a fan for life.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
That's my security right there. That's the bad one, Roscoe Pico train.
Major League Baseball wanted to start doing something with the players and their dogs.
Which one's the dog?
I was undecided on whether to do a dog card or not, but my wife pushed me in the back and she wanted a famous dog, so she told me to do it.
You already.
Do you see yourself maybe one day after baseball, like maybe food critic, food writer?
I would love to do that. That's the plan. I've been doing it ever since I was in the big leagues. It's just fun. It's fun to interact with people like the fans, because a lot of my followers are baseball fans. So it's nice to interact with them on a topic that's not baseball. A lot of people seem to rally around that. I mean, who doesn't love good food?
The defense.
college at Northeastern University, and all my friends were Red Sox fans. And while in my 3 years there, I really grew to appreciate Red Sox Nation and everything that they bring to the table. And once I got my head wrapped around the trade, I was really, really excited. I think they have one of the most iconic logos, these two socks right here on the sleeve. I love keeping it simple, really fond of the font, and I think it's a really cool look.
I can't imagine transitioning from loving baseball cards to then knowing it's inevitably coming that you're going to be on baseball cards. What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, I think the first card I saw was when they did something for USA Baseball, and then now seeing my face, seeing me playing baseball on a card, it was surreal. It wasn't that it was that moment where like, wow, this is really something.
What is it that kind of got you hooked as a foodie, so to speak?
My dad was really into food when I was a kid. He traveled for work and he would go to places all over Europe and stuff. He was in sales and I feel like he would come home and try and cook the things he ate overseas. And so as a kid, I was exposed to a lot of stuff that kids aren't usually exposed to. And so I credit my dad for that.
ChefIQ at chefiq.com.
Today the world smiles at Celebra tú también con Betcris.
A lot of baseball fans have some familiarity with the T206 American Tobacco card set. Of course, features the famous Hannes Wagner card. What we have here are 3 cards from the lesser-known T205 set, which really was a successor to T206. T206
earlier bet the guy's got to start hitting. Just added it up the last 5 games. Runners in scoring position. The Yankees are hitting $188 in that category.
And if
that makes it tough.
And you know what? If you're going to play that kind of close game, 2-1, 3-2, they did blow a lead yesterday, and that's on the defense. And those kinds of things have to be tightened up. And aggression is one thing. You have to learn how to harness that a little bit. I would think. You want to go for those plays, but you have to be careful.
Well, yeah, you really have to be very discerning. And sometimes, you're not going to pull a rabbit out of your hat. You're not going to pull a spectacular play out of a hole. Sometimes. He made, I think, one Volpe play where he dives in the hole, and he did his job by stopping the ball and saved the run, but just complicated things by throwing, and then a lot of complications off of that.
Well, the throw to third, and we asked Aaron Boone about that. He said no problem with the throw itself, but it has to be more accurate. Yeah. That was the problem, and I don't think he could have gotten him anyway. But he had no problem with that. By the way, the one thing here's interesting because both you and I looked at each other when Jazz Chisholm put down that bunt, and we asked Aaron Boone about that. You know, do you have a problem with him putting down the bunt? And he said, no, I'd rather have him swinging the bat right now because he is the one that is really hitting. But if he's trying to get a hit, which he was, I don't have any problem.
It just wasn't a good bunt. If he was trying to get a hit.
Up against one of the league's best.
Junior leading the Blue Jays. Blue Jays charge out onto the field in red jerseys and red caps with white pants today. The Yankees will wear their road grays. Kevin Gausman, 6'2", 205 pounds. Born in Centennial, Colorado, the 34-year-old pitching in his fourth season as a Blue Jay, 6-6 with a 4.21 ERA in 16 starts. We saw just about Gausman's best his last time out at Cleveland on the 26th of June. He went 8 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, John Schneider said before that ball game, it all hinges on the fastball. When he can locate that fastball up, down, in, out, he's almost unhittable. And what did he do? He went out and located that fastball, and he was almost unhittable. Gave up just 2 hits to the Cleveland Guardians. A pretty good lineup, too.
Gausman getting in his warm-up pitches. This will be a tough Yankees lineup. A Yankees lineup that's given him trouble recently. Early in his Blue Jays tenure, it was a team he dominated. But if you go from 2024's start until right now, Gausman has an ERA north of 11 in 5 starts against the Yankees with an 0-3 record. He matched up with Max Fried earlier this year and had that inning, that third inning, where everything fell apart for him at once. Ended up walking 5 hitters and being ejected in the middle of that inning. So he's looking to get some revenge on the Yankees, who both this year and last year have put up big games against him. First batter he'll face is Paul Goldschmidt. Out of the lineup yesterday, the right-handed hitter bats leadoff today. National League MVP in 2022. Goldschmidt steps in from the right side. Sun pouring down on the Rogers Center diamond as Gausman begins to rock his left foot. Now he comes still, kicks and offers, and the first pitch is a fastball outside, ball 1. Time of the first pitch, 3:28 Eastern. A beautiful day in downtown Toronto. 28 degrees and sunny. The 1-0. Fouled back by Goldschmidt. Ball and a strike. This first inning is brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Armstrong Bird Food, the reason birds fly north. Feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com. 1-1. Hit sharply through the whole left side. A base hit bouncing into left field. 282 hitter, and Goldschmidt gets the day started right for the Yankees. They have a leadoff single.
Well, that was just a 4-seam fastball right down the middle. Paul Goldschmidt, as he's done so often in his career, just hammered that thing through the left side.
He's on first, getting some words from Travis Chapman, first base coach for the Yankees. And now the pitch to left-handed hitter Cody Bellinger. Called inside, looked pretty good, but not good enough for Doug Eddings, the home plate umpire today. He's the crew chief. Eric Backus at first, Gabe Morales at second, and Austin Jones at third. 1-0. Driven to right center field, racing back Miles Straw into the shade, makes the catch about 5 feet in front of the warning track to get Gausman his first out of the day. Goldschmidt back to first.
And that was a good split finger. Missed the barrel of Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger actually put a pretty big swing on it, but he hit it off the end of the bat, maybe about 10 feet from that warning track in center field. Miles Straw tracks it down for the first out.
Boos raining down as Aaron Judge steps up to the plate for the Yankees. No score, runner on first in the top of the first inning with 1 out. Gausman's pitch. Low ball 1. Judge held quiet yesterday. They pitched to him twice and punched him out both times. Both of those by Scherzer, and then intentionally walked him twice. 1-0 pitch. Low, 2 balls and no strikes. Kevin Gausman using a 4-seamer, splitter, and slider. Just threw a splitter below the knees. He looks in at the 6'7" right fielder Judge. And the 2-0. Fastball low, ball 3.
Missed his spot by quite a bit there. The velo was decent, 94 miles an hour, but you can see Tyler Heineman trying to come up and in with that target, trying to cut off that big, long swing of Aaron Judge.
Not sure they'll go after him here. 3-0 pitch. Called strike. He planted it on the corner. That was not a he's taken all the way, I'll throw it down the middle kind of strike. But Gausman back in the count. It's 3-1. Goldschmidt takes his lead. 1 out. Gausman's pitch to Judge. Inside, ball 4. That's a walk to the Yankees slugger. And there's runners on first and second with 1 out.
Well, you could tell that the mentality there from Kevin Gausman was, if I miss, I'm missing in. I'm not going to miss over the heart of the plate in a 3-1 count. Aaron Judge obviously sitting dead red there. I don't mind walking him in that situation.
Judge adds to his American League leading walk total. That's his 59th of the year. And that puts the pressure on Jazz Chisholm Jr. First and second, 1 out. Big opportunity here for Chisholm. He hit a 2-run homer yesterday to start the scoring. Gausman looks to second and offers home. First pitch freezes Chisholm, a splitter for strike 1. Left-handed hitter from the Bahamas, batting .244, .839 OPS, 8 doubles and 14 home runs. The 0-1. Popped up in the infield. Jimenez under it. Infield fly rule signaled by second base ump Gabe Morales, and Jimenez makes the catch. 2 outs.
Jimenez did a good job shading his eyes with that bare right hand from the sun. The sun right in his face during that pop-up. That's a tough play, but like you said, it's an infield pop-up, so not a big deal.
Top of the first inning on Canada Day. First and second for the Yankees. 2 outs and no score. Tyler Heineman out from behind the plate to give signals to the defense in case of a double steal. By the way, we did this last year. We're bringing it back. If you want to text us your name and where you're listening, 590-590. We will try to get to as many people as we can, shout you out on the broadcast. We want to hear from people across this great country, east to west, wherever you are. Please send us a text, 590-590, name and location. Pitch to Giancarlo Stanton, taken low. Stanton hunches over to watch it go by. Ball 1. Goldschmidt the lead runner, Judge on first, and the 1-0. Just outside, borderline pitch, 2 balls, no strikes.
Heineman wanted that one. You could see him framing that pitch. It seemed like he was almost shocked that that wasn't called a strike, but it was a little bit off the plate.
Close stance from the right side for Stanton. Rests the bat on his right shoulder, 2-0. Low ball 3. Not necessarily the spot you want to be in with the active leader in home runs in Major League Baseball. Giancarlo Stanton hasn't hit one yet this year, but he's hit 429 in his illustrious career. 3-0 pitch. Taken for a strike. That pitch probably in off the plate, but Gausman gets the call to make it 3-1.
Well, Giancarlo Stanton doesn't have the same pop, doesn't have the same bat speed as he used to have, but if you throw one down the middle, I guarantee he's going to hit it a long way.
3-1 pitch. Called strike right on the outside corner. Just grabbed the zone to make it a full count. 0-0 game, top of the first. 40,000 getting loud with runners on first and second and a full count and 2 outs. Gausman deals to Stanton. Down and away, ball 4. Yank the fastball, and the inning continues.
I also don't mind that walk. I know that you don't want to walk the bases loaded here, but there are 2 outs, so you move on to the next guy, you make a good pitch, you get out of this inning.
Tyler Heineman's going to walk out to the hill, puts his arm around Kevin Gausman, maybe just gives him a bit of a breather as well. It's been a long top of the first inning for Gausman. He's thrown 18 pitches, but overall he's faced 5 batters and has to deal with runners on for the whole inning.
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing in this situation, along with giving him a little bit of a breather, is just going over the scouting report. This is potentially a big part of this ball game because Max Fried is pitching on the other side. You can't give up too much if you're Kevin Gausman.
The man known as the Martian, or El Marciano, Dominican Republic's Jason Dominguez, up to the plate. Switch hitter batting left, the pitch. Fouled off to the left, 0-1. Dominguez, 22 years old in his 3rd major league season, putting together a nice year so far. 254 hitter, 729 on base plus slugging, 13 doubles and 6 home runs. Came in as a substitute yesterday and went 2 for 3. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Gausman pulls the string with the splitter, and he's quickly ahead of Dominguez, 0-2.
And there is some swing and miss from Dominguez. So if you make a good pitch here, especially out of the strike zone, he's likely to swing and miss.
Goldschmidt on third, Judge on second, Stanton on first. With 2 outs, the 0-2. In the dirt, taken by Dominguez for ball 1.
Yanked that one just a little bit. It was a ball out of the hand. Actually, a pretty good take from Dominguez.
Infield plays him slightly to pull for the switch hitter batting left. Gausman kicks and deals. Hit on the ground, up the middle, into center field. Goldschmidt in to score. Judge getting the wave. Straw holds onto it and will throw it back into second. So Judge scores as well, and it's 2-0 Yankees in the top of the first, thanks to an RBI single by Jason Dominguez.
Actually wasn't a bad pitch from Kevin Gausman. It was a split finger down below the strike zone and maybe outside, too, off the plate. Jason Dominguez doing a good job just hitting that right back up the middle, not trying to do too much with that pitch. It's a big lead now, especially with Max Fried on the mound. You can't give up anything else.
Anthony Volpe to the plate with the Yankees up 2-0. First and second and 2 outs. Gausman to Volpe. Called strike.
Just to kind of put things in perspective, Max Fried has given up 3 or more earned runs this season, twice.
In 17 starts. 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. And I don't know about you, for me, I look back to falling behind 3-0 and then walking Stanton. Walking Judge, fine. But once you walk Stanton, it was a tough situation. The 1-1. Swing and a high fly ball, right center field, playable for Straw. Back near the warning track, he stops to make the catch on the edge of the dirt and end the inning. Yankees get a pair of runs on a pair of hits. They have 2 walks as well. They leave 2 on, and it's 2-0 Yankees.
Celebra tú también con Betcris.
A lot of fans and collectors will look at the T206 set as the more famous of the sets that were produced in the early part of the 20th century. And certainly they would carry more financial value. But when you talk to collectors, some will tell you that these T205s are actually more physically attractive. They're maybe the most physically attractive cards produced prior to World War II.
To transform your backyard into a dream space? Find Trex at Timbermark, Canada's building center, where your outdoor vision comes to life.
Breaking news coming in from 365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Andres Jimenez makes the catch, and the Blue Jays come back to win it.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
2-0 Yankees, bottom of the first inning on Canada Day. Happy Canada Day to everyone listening. Alongside Mississauga's Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. Ernie Clement leading it off for the Blue Jays. The pitch from Max Fried is inside, ball one. Fried, 31-year-old lefty, 6'4", 190 pounds, in his first season with the Yankees after spending the rest of his career as a Brave. 1-0. Called strike. Absolutely nasty this season since joining New York. 10-2 with a 1.92 earned run average in 17 starts. Hunched over, he gets into the wind, kicks, and deals. Fouled back. Clement sends that over the first base dugout, and it's 1-2.
Max Fried is just very, very consistent. You know exactly what you're going to get from him almost every single time out there. Really all you can ask from any manager.
Mustached lefty brings the glove to his face. Twists back, deals a 1-2, and Clement pokes it on the ground softly to second. DJ LeMahieu picks it up, slings to first, and there's one out. It's a really deep mix for Max Fried. Cutter, sinker, curve, four-seamer, sweeper, change, and slider. He's a little bit different than he used to be as a Brave. He was not a cutter-first guy previously. He was more of a four-seam first guy. Now he'll throw his cutter and sinker even more than his straight fastball. One out in the pitch to George Springer. Inside, ball one.
And the velo is still up there. You can get up to 96, 97 if he really feels like he needs to, but he's just such a good pitcher. The pitchability is off the charts for him. That's really the main reason why he's been so good.
1-0 pitch. Springer hits it on the ground, foul, 1-1. We mentioned in the top of the first inning, you can text us at 590-590, and we will do our best to shout you out. Already thousands of texts coming in, but I figured the first person to text us today should be the first shout-out, so thanks for texting in. Owen from Niagara Falls.
I thought it was my mom.
It was not. 1-1. High and outside, 2 balls and a strike. Mitch from Orangeville texted in. Kate and Mike from Stony Creek. Matt P. currently sitting in traffic on the QEW. That's tough, but thank you for texting in. One out, base is empty in the 2-1 to George Springer. High, ball 3. Springer, a .263 hitter on the year, .819 OPS, 15 doubles and 11 home runs.
It's good to see him in the lineup today, actually.
Removed from yesterday's game after he slid head first into the knee of Jazz Chisholm. 3-1 pitch inside, ball 4. Springer aboard with one out on the walk. John Schneider told us he had a lot of trouble swallowing and breathing immediately after his neck went into Chisholm's leg. But Schneider walked back into the clubhouse while that was all happening, and George was trying to convince him to keep him in the ball game. Schneider said no. They allowed him to sit out the rest of that game, but he came back today feeling good. 2-0 Yankees, 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the first, and the pitch to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Down and in, ball 1. Lone Canadian-born player on this roster on Canada Day is Vladimir Guerrero Jr., born in Montreal. The 1-0. Broken bat looper out to second, caught by LeMahieu, ranging to his left. He brought it in, and there are 2 down.
That's a great pitch. 96 miles an hour, right in on the hands of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He's not happy about that swing, though, breaking that bat over his left knee as he walks slowly back to that dugout.
Guerrero dumps his bat into the trash, and Alejandro Kirk steps up with a runner on first and 2 down. 2-0 Yankees after Dominguez had a 2-run single in the first. And the pitch home. Breaking ball for a strike. One of our Canada Day texts today coming from Mark from Whitby. We also have Kayla, Matthew, Bram, and Benji in Aurora. Kathy in Sarnia. And Nathaniel and family in London. 0-1. Fouled back, 0-2. The Corona family in Muskoka has texted in. Barb in Waterdown, Ontario. Alejandro Kirk in an 0-2 hole quickly to Max Fried. Left-hander looks to first at Springer and will throw over to first. Springer back in with a dive. Max Fried possesses one of the best pickoff moves in all of baseball. He is really difficult to figure out as a lefty throwing over to first.
I tell you what, he got me there. I thought he was throwing home.
Staring at Springer, his 0-2. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Drive in home from Illinois, about to cross back into Canada. Laura, Anthony, and Sammy, thanks so much for tuning in. Dave Baines in Bowmanville, appreciate you texting in as well. Kirk is going to ask for time, and Fried will do up his shoelaces on his left cleat before the 1-2. We have an in-ballpark listener, section 204. 9-year-old Lewis texted in to say he was listening. Appreciate you. I guess not bringing the transistor radio to the game. It's a little old-fashioned, but whatever you're listening on, appreciate it. 1-2 to Kirk. Swatted foul late, swing by Kirk, and he just poked that fastball into the netting above the first base dugout to stay alive.
And there's that big velo from Fried, 98 miles an hour with that four-seamer. Good job from Kirk just staying alive in a 1-2 count.
Springer getting his lead off first, 2-0 Yankees. The pitch home. Bounce to the right side, and a leaping stop by the Gold Glover Goldschmidt. He'll go back to the bag and step on it to end the inning. High bouncer by Kirk, reeled in by one of the better defensive first basemen of this generation. Paul Goldschmidt with a nice play to end the inning. No runs, no hits. 1 left for the Blue Jays. On Canada Day,
everyday essentials, and anything that will make your Canada Day super. So don't miss the Super Redemption event only at Shoppers Drug Mart. Proudly Canadian owned and operated. Restrictions apply. Minimum spend required. Details in store.
Representation in media is important.
There's a lot of people with disabilities that don't feel seen.
I'm a music producer. Having a disability, it's not really shown in the industry.
I make media representing women in wheelchairs.
AMI is a broadcaster that strives to change the way people think about disability.
I'm a very loud and proud deaf woman, and I want to be able to make a difference.
Watch inclusive and accessible content on AMI TV or stream now at AMIplus.ca.
Hey, this is Kevin Gosman. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Kevin Gosman on the hill, top of the second inning, and the first pitch he throws misses down and away to J.C. Escarra. 2-0 for the Yankees over the Blue Jays. Happy Canada Day. Alongside Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Right on left, Gosman's pitch to the Yankee catcher in there, strike 1. This second inning is presented by Bet365. At Bet365, you can bet on popular markets like hits, home runs, and total bases. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. 1-1 pitch called to strike, a splitter that might have been a hair outside, but it was close. It's 1-2. Escarra, the number 8 hitter in Aaron Boone's lineup, in there for his second straight day because Austin Wells, the starting catcher, is dealing with circulation issues in his left pointer finger. 1-2. Just low with a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Just below that strike zone again. Tyler Heineman, a lot like Alejandro Kirk, is really good at stealing strikes. Almost stole that one.
Gosman kicks and offers and misses low again, ball 3. Gosman walked a couple in the first inning, really hurt him in a 2-run frame for the Yankees. Payoff pitch, foul back. 95 on the outside edge, good pitch, but a good swing from Escarra to keep himself at home plate.
Important pitch coming up. You don't want to walk the leadoff guy, especially the number 8 guy in the order.
Three-two again. hit high, foul off to the left into the sea of hands down the left field line.
How about that pitch count for Kevin Gausman now at 32 pitches with nobody out here in the top of the second.
Yeah, not ideal. Blue Jays also used him for 8 innings and 104 pitches in his last start. He was on extra rest then. He's on regular rest today. Payoff pitch. Bounce toward the third baseman, Clement. Backing up, he fields it near his right hip, skips it over to first in time for the out, an intentionally bounced throw by Ernie Clement.
Yeah, it's always easier for a first baseman to take that long hop than potentially jumping for a long throw in the air. Good play, a smart play from Ernie Clement.
Big first out. We'll get back to some of the Canada Day texts in a moment. 590-590 is the number to text. DJ LeMahieu, the number 9 hitter, up for the Yankees. The pitch, called a strike. That fastball, 94 miles an hour for Gausman. He sat around 95.5 in his last start, which was considerably up about a mile an hour on his season average. 0-1. In there with a splitter. LeMahieu froze in on that splitter that landed near the knees. It's 0-2.
Let's see if he can get 2 quick outs here. Get back to that dugout. Have to start conserving some pitches here.
2-0 Yankees. Bases loaded. 1 out, top of the second. Bases empty, pardon me. And the next pitch inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Gausman's first punch out of the day has LeMahieu out in front on the splitter, and there are 2 down.
That's the one right there. Bottle that thing up. Perfectly placed right below that strike zone. All kinds of downward movement to it. That's the way you want to throw that pitch going forward.
2 outs in the inning. Infield shifts toward third base with the right-handed hitting Paul Goldschmidt up. And the pitch. Chopped foul, 0-1. I might not pronounce the place right. I'm hoping I do. Chris and Kathy sent a beautiful picture from Lot 61, Gambier Island. That's what I'm going with. They were there at the first game in 77. Appreciate you tuning in, texting in right now as Paul Goldschmidt golfs the 0-1 very high out to center field. In the shade, Miles Straw, standing under it, makes a one-handed catch to his left and ends the inning. 1-2-3 for Kevin Gausman. 2-0 for the Yankees, though, middle of the second. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball.
Well, we certainly served it up over the plate. This is a burger fit for a home run king, the 99 burger in honor of Aaron Judge. They sell a bazillion of these at Yankee Stadium. It looks pretty good. I feel like we passed the test. What about you?
I think so.
Weather, protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Blue Jays up 3-2 on a wacky play to give Toronto the lead.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Jays Care wants you to celebrate Canada Day with a trip of a lifetime. Through their 50-50 bonus raffle, Jays Care is giving away trips all across the country, more than 100 prizes. Head to bluejays.com/5050 to get your tickets. First pitch to Davis Schneider, called a strike, 0-1. 2-0 for the Yankees. Max Fried on the hill. Schneider, Straw, Jimenez for the Blue Jays. Andres, that is. 5, 6, 7 in the Blue Jay order. The pitch, high and outside, 1-1. Really nice day yesterday for Davis Schneider. Going up against another tough lefty in Carlos Rodon. He had 2 hits, including a double, and was hit by a pitch. 1-1. Swing and a deep drive foul. Absolutely unloaded on that ball. Hits it halfway up the 500 level. Pretty far down the left field line, but way foul. It's 1-2.
Max Fried got away with one there. It was an elevated cutter in just a little bit. Davis Schneider was sitting on that pitch just a little bit out in front.
Schneider waggles the bat above his right shoulder. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3.
That's that big breaking curveball. That's the difference maker for Max Fried. Somebody's sitting on that cutter. Somebody's sitting on that fastball. He just flips in that big breaker. Generally speaking, most hitters just swing right through it.
One out, corners move in a little bit. Miles Straw to the plate in the pitch. Outside, ball 1. 2-0 for the Yankees. Thanks to everyone who's texted in right now. We're in the bottom of the second inning. And cutting hay out in Saskatchewan is Ryan. Saskatchewan, I should say, is Ryan, who just texted in. Appreciate you texting us, Ryan. 1-0 pitch. Straw takes again. Pitch outside again. Scar tried to frame it, but did not fool Eddings. 2-0.
Ben, you know how to cut hay, right?
Probably. Not sure. 2-0 pitch. Foul back, 2-1. Trish is listening at Ty Lake, British Columbia, says go Blue Jays. I just snuck a peek at Ty Lake. That seems like a very good spot to be listening to the game. 2-1. Hit on the ground to the left side of the diamond. Gobbled up. Third baseman Chisholm throws to first just in time. Straw had the airplane arms out saying he was safe, and I think the Blue Jays are going to at least think about challenging. Chisholm waited on it. Was maybe a little bit too casual given the speed of Straw, but the Blue Jays will not challenge. So I guess he wasn't too casual. Just got him. 2 down.
Well, we're getting a replay here. I want to see how close this was. Jazz Chisholm actually has a pretty good arm across the diamond. Yeah, that was about a couple of inches for Miles Straw beating that out, but Jazz Chisholm kind of took his time.
First pitch to Andres Jimenez, called a strike, 0-1. Chisholm moves on to the infield turf in case Jimenez thinks about a bunt. This is the only left-on-left matchup that Max Fried has. The pitch, swing and a miss. Although Fried in his career and this season is actually giving up a little bit more to lefties than righties. Now, the only caveat is most teams will play only the best lefties in the game against Max Fried. 0-2. Fouled off the glove of Vizcarra, who nearly held onto it for the strikeout, but dropped it in front of him, so it's still 0-2. Fried winds, kicks, and deals. And the pitch hit off the handle, bouncing foul, first base side. Shelly from Linden, Alberta sent us a text. Thank you so much, Shelly. She says, go Jays, with a Canadian flag and heart emoji. Oh, 2. Low. Taken by Andres Jimenez, who started the swing but held up. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pat and Nancy on Glacier Bay, Cape Breton. Wishing everyone a happy Canada Day. 1-2 pitch. Jimenez pokes it toward the 3-time Gold Glover Fried, who picks it up, jogs to first, underhand flips, and ends the inning. 1-2-3 for the Yankee lefty Max Fried. Sets down the Blue Jays in order to keep the Bronx Bombers.
bases and make every summer project a home run. Visit any of our 1,000+ home hardware and building center locations where we're proud to be locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Way back, and Jimenez has done it again.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Top of the third inning, 2-0 for the Yankees over the Blue Jays as Kevin Gausman deals and gets a swing and a miss from Cody Bellinger to get ahead 0-1. Alongside Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. 2 runs for the Yankees in the top of the first inning. Bellinger, though, was retired that inning, lining out to center. The 0-1. Left-handed hitter leans back out of the way of a pitch in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bellinger is one of 3 National League MVPs in the starting lineup for the American League's New York Yankees. 1-1. Hit on the ground, first base side, picked up near the line, deep by Vladdy, spins, underhand flips to Gausman for the first out of the inning. Nice play.
Yeah, that's a great play from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. down that line. Kevin Gausman did a good job getting over to first base pretty quickly, although Cody Bellinger really wasn't running hard out of the box.
So 1 out in this third inning. That's brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Hearst and New Liskeard. Crown is proud to be Canadian-owned and operated since 1986. So protect your vehicle from rust today at your local Crown Rust Control Center. Visit crown.com. Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. The pitch to Aaron Judge. Called low, ball 1. Jay is heading home to Sudbury, and he texted in at 590. Happy Canada Day, Jay. 1-0. Swing and a deep drive right center field. That's going to get down in the gap and bounce up against the wall. Judge around first. Springer picks it up on the track. Judge cruises into second with a stand-up double. He's in scoring position with 1 out.
Well, again, they were trying to come up and in and jam Aaron Judge, not allowing him to get those arms extended, but that fastball kind of leaked down, maybe thigh high, inner third. Aaron Judge was able to pull the hands through, get the barrel to it, and hit that ball the other way into the right center gap.
20th double of the season for Aaron Judge, a batter who's hitting over 350 with 30 home runs as well. Jazz Chisholm Jr. to the plate. Popped out to second in the first. He's 0 for 1. Long look at Judge. Gausman offers home. And a swing and a miss by Chisholm. Frank is at the Blue Mountains right now. Texted in. Happy Canada Day to you, Frank. 0-1. Called strike. Chisholm leaned back, but that pitch hit the inner third of the zone for strike 2. Bit of a funky throwback to Kevin Gausman by Tyler Heineman. It bounced third base side of the mound, so they're going to get him a new baseball. And I think that might have actually hit Jazz Chisholm. If you remember, as many listening do, Shin-Soo Choo getting in the way of a ball by accident on a Russell Martin throwback in the 2015 Division Series. It was a similar situation. The batter had his hand out, and Heineman on the throwback deflected it. I had not seen something like that before or since the bat flip game.
Well, there you go.
There it is, in a much lower leverage spot than that one. 2 strikes on Chisholm, who appeared to be all right. 1 out and a runner on second. 2-0 for the Yankees. In the top of the third, Gausman's pitch. Fouled back off of Tyler Heineman. Chisholm picks it up off the dirt, hands it to Heineman, and the at-bat continues.
That was a split finger that caught just a little bit too much of the plate. They were trying to go below the strike zone. That one, again, tried to kind of floated through the strike zone. Jazz Chisholm just got a piece of it to stay alive.
Another 0-2. In the dirt, blocked by Heineman off the left side of his chest. It rolls in front of him, and they'll get Gausman a new baseball. Ball and 2 strikes. Bill is in Shedden, Ontario. Texted in. He's pushing around some dirt right now, running a dozer. Thanks for texting in, Bill. Happy Canada Day. A look back to second. Gausman rocks and offers. And it's grounded foul by Chisholm. Pulling off the ball. He's still got enough of it to roll it over to the right side and into the sidewall.
Is there anything more Canadian than running a dozer on Canada Day?
I'll find it. Someone here. By the way, I pronounced it was not Gambier Island before. It was Gambier. I tried to do too much. 1-2. Inside. That was certainly a strike, but Doug Eddings has decided to disagree, and now he's taken his mask off to bark at Kevin Gausman. Doug Eddings and the Blue Jays have history. And that's very quick for Doug Eddings to start a confrontation with Gausman because he asks about one pitch that the home plate umpire is absolutely wrong on. Now he's threatening to throw John Schneider out of the game. So we go from Blue Jays Yankees to the Doug Eddings show in the top of the third inning at Rogers Center.
You can't miss that pitch in that spot. This is the biggest spot that we might see in this ballgame. You have to call that a strike.
2-2. Bounce to the plate. Heineman throws back to second, and Leo Jimenez corrals it. They were checking on Aaron Judge.
And Kevin Gausman is still upset about that missed call. Tyler Heineman is talking to Doug Eddings right now. I mean, you can only imagine how upset he is. A big spot, a very good hitter, and that is clearly strike three.
And then Doug responds by trying to throw half the ballpark out of Rogers Center. 3-2 pitch. Low ball 4. There you go. Misses a call on 1 and 2, and it ends up in a walk. First and second for the Yankees, 1 out. Let's go back to the text line, a more serene place than the Doug Eddings strike zone. Michelle and Tavish in Kinmount, Ontario, texted in. Thank you so much for texting in. Really appreciate it. David in Hawaii texting in, listening to the Blue Jays right now.
That doesn't seem Canadian. Well, that's not very Canadian.
It's not, but maybe he's on vacation. Happy Canada Day, David. Got a happy Canada Day from Tim and Gravenhurst. Appreciate you texting in. Olivia and her mom listening in Saskatchewan. By the way, Pete Walker out for a mound meeting, and Doug Eddings said, well, I haven't yelled at you, so let me find another person to get into it with. By the end of the day, he might get thrown out of the game because he's picked a fight with so many people today after he blew one of the biggest calls of the game so far.
Well, you see this from pitching coaches a lot that are furious about a strike zone or something that happened out on the field. They'll go out and talk to the pitcher, and they'll force the umpire to come out and break it up. And as they're breaking it up, they'll get in whatever frustrations they're having with that umpire, and I think that's what happened there.
First and second, 1 out. 2-0 Yankees, top of the third. The pitch to Giancarlo Stanton. Called to strike. That one good enough. It's 0-1. Stanton walked in the first inning, helped set up the 2-run single by Jason Dominguez. That's the difference in the game. 0-1. Fouled back, 0-2.
That's a good fastball right there. 95 miles an hour on the outer part of the plate. Giancarlo Stanton was behind it, just fouled it back.
Judge on second, Chisholm on first, 1 out. The pitch in the dirt, blocked by Heineman, ball 1. Jada listening on the beach in Tobin Lake, Saskatchewan. Happy Canada Day to you, Jada. Gausman's 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 96 powered right past Stanton, 2 down.
Well, obviously Stanton was sitting split finger there. Kevin Gausman with a good choice there to throw that four-seamer a little bit elevated in that strike zone, just blows it right past Giancarlo Stanton. How about that? Power versus power.
That time Gausman came through. Was his second strikeout of the day. Here's Dominguez, first and second, 2 outs. 2-run single in the first for the switch hitter batting left. Gausman's pitch. Hit back foul, 0-1. Happy Canada Day to Gary listening in his backyard in Calgary. Dominguez in left field today, leans back in his open stance left side. The pitch. Fastball called low, and Heineman slaps the dirt with his glove. Pitch looked like it probably had the edge of the zone, but not according to Mr. Eddings. 1-1. Gausman's pitch. Hit on a line and caught at second by Andres Jimenez to end the inning. No runs on a hit and a walk. 2 left for the Yankees. Still 2-0 New York. Middle of the third. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you.
Partner will thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Book an appointment with Dr. Paulette Pillersdorf. Call 647-243-2006.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Vladdy under it, makes the catch, and the Blue Jays win the series.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Yankees 2, Blue Jays nothing. Bottom of the third inning at Rogers Center. Happy Canada Day, and thanks so much for tuning in. Tyler Heineman, the catcher, bats from the right side. The switch hitter faces a pitch from Max Fried and takes it. That one's going to be a strike. It was off the plate inside, but sure, 0-1. Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. When home improvement projects are throwing you a curveball, talk to the folks at Timbermart before you begin your next job. They've got the material and know-how to make sure you have all your bases covered. Timbermart, Canada's building center. Alongside the former Streetsville Tiger, Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Next pitch to Heineman is outside enough to be called a ball today, 1-1.
That's very old school of you. There's no longer the Streetsville Tigers, it's the Mississauga North Tigers.
They've kept the Thornhill Reds, but they've changed the logo. And I like the old logo. 1-1. Swing and a fly ball right center field. Moving back, Bellinger. He was playing him shallow. He has to nearly go to the warning track to make the catch, but he brings it in. 1 out.
Yeah, that ball kept going and going. Cody Bellinger actually caught that right in front of the warning track at right center. Put a charge into that one.
Blue Jays trying to get something going against Fried. They have a walk. That's all so far in 8 batters. George Springer took a 1-out walk in the first. Since Fried has retired, 6 in a row. His pitch to Leo Jimenez, making his season debut. He ducks back out of the way, ball 1. Jimenez playing shortstop today. Bo Bichette still dealing with the right knee discomfort that he suffered yesterday after stepping on a ball in warm-up. The 1-1. Or 1-0 rather, called a strike. That pitch looked a little high. It's now 1-1.
How about that? Welcome back to the show. Here's Max Fried.
Yeah, not exactly the easiest debut to have. Not a soft launch for Leo Jimenez. 1-1. Called strike 1 and 2. Wind blowing out toward left field. Fried's jersey blowing in the wind. He kicks and offers home. And the pitch fouled off to the right. Leo Jimenez dealing with some injuries while he was in the minors this year. So only 15 games with AAA Buffalo so far. Batting .271 in those 15 games. .750 OPS, 3 doubles, and an RBI. With 1 out and the bases empty, he faces a 1-2. And hits it in the air out to right. Moving forward, Aaron Judge towards the line, makes the catch with 2 hands, and there are 2 outs.
Not a bad at-bat from Leo Jimenez. Obviously a tough matchup with Max Fried out there. You got that big breaking curveball. He stayed on it. Just wasn't able to get the barrel to it. Hit a little weak fly ball out to Aaron Judge and right.
Two outs, Ernie Clement to the plate. Second time through for Fried. The pitch in the dirt, ball 1. on our Canada Day text line. We got Wayne having a cold Canadian brew in his backyard in Kitchener. Sounds great. Enjoy your Canada Day, and a happy Canada Day to you. The pitch called a strike. Borderline pitch at the top of the zone. It's 1-1.
Ernie didn't like that call, kind of arching his back, letting Doug Eddings know that might have been a ball.
I think I've said my piece, to be honest. The 1-1. High and outside. That one going to get called a ball. Just had to make sure. 2-1. From Tracadie Bay, Prince Edward Island. Beautiful photo provided by Catherine and Michael. Happy Canada Day to you both. 2-1. Fouled off the glove of the catcher is Skara. That'll make it 2-2 with 2 outs and the bases empty.
I think that was fouled right into the inner thigh of Skara. Doug Eddings giving him a couple of seconds, cleaning off that plate that's already pretty clean.
Skara appears to be all right. Backup catcher getting back-to-back starts with Austin Wells on the mend right now. 2-2 to Clement. Fouled behind him toward the on-deck circle where George Springer knocks it down with his bat. An extra special Happy Canada Day to 3-year-old Jackson, 1-year-old Hudson listening right now in Edmonton, cheering on the Blue Jays. Happy Canada Day to Jax and Hudson. 2-2. Hit on the ground, foul down the left field line.
Happy Canada Day to James, Wesley, and Sam. I don't know if they're listening, but they're up in Muskoka right now.
Very nice.
So they're probably not listening. They're probably in the lake somewhere right now.
Hey, we got a lot of people on the lake right now, sending pics, texting in. Another 2-2. And a ball hit on the ground to third. Picked up by Chisholm. Pumps, throws over to first. Just in time to get Clement to end the inning. John Schneider puts a hand up just to ask for a second here in case the Blue Jays want to challenge. He's looking back to DeMarlo Hale.
Queso and bacon cheesesteak. Cubano elevates a classic to a whole new level. And Mr. Beef comes stacked hot and sweet with a side of jus. They're all fired up and ready for each hot, crispy bite. Mr. Sub, yours since 1968.
Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's the fourth inning at Rogers Center, presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app for today's baseball odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. 2-0 Yankees. Kevin Gausman in a shaded Rogers Center deals home to Anthony Volpe. Strike one. Some clouds overhead. Not many of them, but one of them blocking out the sun right now. Still mid to high 20-degree temperatures in downtown Toronto. 0-1 to Volpe inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's an important inning for Kevin Gausman. 61 pitches now in the top of the 4th inning, and you have the bottom of the Yankees order.
Gave up 2 in the first, and then 2 scoreless innings since. 1-1. Down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And you don't want to nibble against Anthony Volpe. You want to pound that strike zone, force him to put the ball in play.
Doesn't hit for much of an average. He's in the 220s, but does have a fair amount of power. 21 doubles and 9 home runs. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Big hack there on a fastball well located on the outer third. 2-2. Third season for the 24-year-old shortstop Anthony Volpe. Born in New York, raised in New Jersey. 2-2. Check swing. Pitch was downstairs. A splitter that dropped below the knees. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
We've talked about that situation before, but how ridiculous is it for not only for him, but for his high school friends? They must be so excited every single day to watch a Yankees game.
Payoff pitch. Hit on the ground toward third and foul. Volpe getting the opportunity to go to the World Series with the Yankees last year. Gold Glover as a rookie. But under a lot of pressure. Playing shortstop for the New York Yankees is a position that comes with a lot of baggage, as cool as it is. The payoff pitch is looped out toward foul territory right side. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. crosses the line and makes the catch. And there's 1 out.
That's a good 3-2 pitch. A fastball on the inner part of the plate. Just ate up Volpe a little bit. Weak pop-up into foul territory to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Like I said, this is a big inning. He has to limit the pitch count a little bit. He got that first out pretty quickly.
1 out. Infield shifts toward the first base side as the lefty hitting catcher Riscar is up. First pitch in there. Strike 1. Happy Canada Day to Ethan, who's listening while milking cows in Arkona. Hope that's going well, and happy Canada Day to you. 0-1. Foul tipped, 0-2.
So that might be more Canadian than running a dozer.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
It's close.
Yeah.
We had someone texting earlier that they were moving dirt with the dozer. Yeah. I liked someone else texted in right after. He was moving water in the pool. So a little bit easier to move water around, but hey, still putting the work in. 1 out, base is empty. 2-0 Yankees, top of the 4th, the 0-2. Popped up. Straight up over the mound. Ernie Clement moving in, calls off Tyler Heineman, coming in between home and the infield, or rather the mound. He makes the catch, and they're 2 down.
It seemed like Tyler Heineman was camped underneath that baseball, maybe about a third of the way to the pitcher's mound, but it's still a tough play for a catcher. You're kind of backstepping a little bit. Ernie Clement doing a good job running in and making that play. A much easier play for somebody running in than somebody backstepping.
Gausman looking for a 1-2-3 inning. 2 outs, bases empty, and the pitch to the 9-hitter DJ LeMahieu. Up and in. LeMahieu backs out. Ball 1. Bill texted in a happy Canada Day from beautiful Bob Cajun. Happy Canada Day to you, Bill. We got Andy in Tavistock cutting hay on the tractor as LeMahieu swings at the 1-0 and grounds it through the left side of the infield in between short and third. A base hit with 2 outs for LeMahieu.
I tell you what, man, all these places sound awesome, but it's pretty spectacular here at the Rogers Center right now. You couldn't get a better day here on Canada Day.
Lots of red around the ballpark. A giveaway, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., red jersey that had lines down the streets of downtown Toronto before the game. And a good one so far. Close ball game. 2-0 Yankees. Runner on first, 2 down. Paul Goldschmidt up the pitch. Fouled off 0-1. Longtime Arizona Diamondback, also handful of very good years with the St. Louis Cardinals. Paul Goldschmidt, a guy who could find himself in Cooperstown when it's all said and done. 0-1. Swing and a miss. 95 elevated and in on the hands of Goldschmidt. Gets the whiff. It's 0-2.
I'd put him in Cooperstown. Career 289 guy right now, 370 homers, 887 OPS.
Bunch of Gold Gloves, bunch of All-Stars, an MVP in 22. 0-2 pitch, fouled away. He's got a very similar case for what it's worth to one Joey Votto. They have had somewhat similar careers. Goldschmidt probably known a little bit more for the glove. Votto at times hit more than Goldschmidt in his career, but both very good players. 0-2 again. Downstairs, taken by Goldschmidt for ball one.
I think they're both Hall of Famers.
I'm in. Sign me up right now.
I like when you agree with me, but that's easy, though. That was an easy one to agree with.
2 outs, top of the fourth. Runner on first base, LeMahieu in the 1-2. Line and fair down the left field line, bouncing into the wall. Coming around second, LeMahieu going for third. He'll stop there as Schneider gets it back into Ernie Clement. Up to second base goes Goldschmidt with his second hit of the day. It's second and third for the Yankees after the double, and 2 outs in the inning.
Big pitch coming up here. Goldschmidt doing a good job going down and getting that split finger. It was down and in. He drops the barrel and hammers that thing into the corner. Davis Schneider does a good job getting to that baseball quickly, keeping DJ LeMahieu at third base. 2 outs in this inning.
Cody Bellinger, the man up at the plate with 2 in scoring position and 2 down for Paul Goldschmidt, his 16th double of the year. Right on left, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Big hack by Cody Bellinger, who was way out in front and chasing a splitter below the zone. It's 0-1. Bellinger, a career 2 for 21 with 9 strikeouts against Kevin Gausman. Gausman stretches his arms above his head, steps onto the middle of the rubber, and looks in at Bellinger. Now a peek back to second at Goldschmidt. LeMahieu on third in the 0-1. Rolled over foul, bouncing into the front fence of the Yankee dugout first base side. It's 0-2.
Stay right there. You can see that Cody Bellinger is having a tough time with that split finger out of the strike zone and below that strike zone. So stay right there, maybe even lower than that.
0-2. Low, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Kevin Gausman was thinking the same thing. Bounce that split finger.
Gausman set, glove pressed against his chest. Second and third, 2 down, and the 1-2. Fouled away. Drove the fastball in off the plate against Cody Bellinger, who got his hands inside of it to flip it into the netting behind home plate.
It's a pretty awkward swing there, though.
Heineman now moves to the outer half of the plate. The 1-2. Splitter bounced, backhanded pick by Heineman. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On the text line, we have Brad in Craven, Saskatchewan, in his barley field, helping make beer for future Canada Days. Appreciate you, Brad. 2-2. Lifted out to right center field. Very high and fairly deep. Going back to the warning track. Straw stops and makes the catch to end the inning. A good escape by Kevin Gausman after giving out a 2-out single and a 2-out double.
Yeah, mine was a tops now as well. I hit my first walk-off last year against the Mets.
Jacob Young, Nationals win! Now he's got his first walk-off big league hit.
Dad had bought a stack of them, and I was like, I think we can get these results, but he went ahead and bought a stack for himself.
Like business cards. There you go.
But it was awesome just to have that moment and have everyone so excited to have a picture of you is a fun moment.
surprise! Same game 5. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
Hey, this is Bo Bichette. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Scary, spooky, hilarious, crazy, scary, spooky.
Home half of the fourth inning. 2-0 for the Yankees. 2-3-4 in the Blue Jay order. George Springer leading off. Max Fried's pitch. Outside, ball 1. Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth alongside former Major League pitcher and member of the Canadian National Baseball Team, Chris Leroux. I'm Ben Schulman. 1-0 pitch. Foul tipped. Big hack by Springer. 1-1. Springer is the only Blue Jays base runner so far. He earned a 5-pitch walk in the first. Fried has retired 8 in a row since. Left-handers 1-1. Swing and a miss. Another big hack by Springer. I think Fried lost the count there. He was walking away like it was a strikeout, but instead it's 1-2.
George Springer was all over that changeup. It was an elevated changeup, not where Max Fried wanted that pitch. Just missed it.
Next pitch, check swing. It was high. Peel down to first. No swing, says Eric Backus. That'll make it 2-2.
That's a pretty good take. How about getting a good changeup, then a fastball at 96 above the strike zone from Max Fried? Pretty good sequence.
Hunched over, Fried brings the glove up, and the 2-2. Hit on a line, foul over the head of third base coach Carlos Fablis, and into the side netting. Listening in right now, happy Canada Day to Bill with his sons Justin and Sean and grandson Liam, who just turned 3. They're outside of the pool in Ancaster. 2-2 to Springer. Golfed out to left field and deep. Dominguez curling back at the wall. It's gone! Feeling good and back in the lineup. George Springer opens the scoring for the Blue Jays, who now trail by 1. His 12th homer of the season makes it 2-1 for the Yankees in the bottom of the 4th.
How about that swing from George Springer? He got the hanger he was waiting for. Hit that thing 404 feet out to left center, 100 miles an hour off the bat. Put that home run jacket on.
And just like that, the Blue Jays are right back in it. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. up the pitch. Called strike.
I did not think that was getting out of here. George Springer was actually out in front of that pitch just a little bit.
Max Fried had not allowed a homer in each of his last 2 starts. You got to go back to June 15th, last time someone hit one out. 0-1. Guerrero lines it toward right field, but it hangs up for Judge, who makes the catch to his left. 1 out.
And that's really the key against Max Fried. You have to take advantage of his mistakes. He doesn't make many of them. But when he hangs that breaking ball, when he hangs that changeup, you have to be all over it. George Springer took advantage right there.
Two 2-1 Yankees, bottom of the 4th. With 1 out, the pitch to Alejandro Kirk is low ball 1. Izzy and Zola from Cambridge sent a very nice message in as they're relaxing in the backyard. Happy Canada Day as Kirk takes high. 2 balls, no strikes. By the way, so many texts. We really appreciate it. There's no chance we're even going to get to a quarter of them with how many people are texting in, but we really do appreciate it, and we're looking through all of them. We just don't have the time for every single one on air. 2-0 pitch hit foul, 2-1.
And Ben does actually feel terrible about not getting to all of them because he told me that off air, just so everybody knows.
There's so many and a lot of great messages. Kirk will ask for time. He steps out. He fouled that last one off his foot. 2-1 count to the right-handed hitting catcher, who's 0 for 1 with a ground out to first. Fried with a slow wind and leg kick, the pitch. Popped up, foul territory, right side behind home plate. Escara ditches his mask onto the on-deck circle, makes the catch near the first base dugout of the Yankees. And there are 2 down.
Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, which is brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill, 100% Canadian-owned and operated since 1992. It's the return of the Big Cluckin' Deal. All-you-can-eat wings are on now for a limited time. Visit stlouiswings.com for details. You are welcome.
It's the return of Jeffrey Springs to not St. Petersburg, but Tampa Bay as he takes on his former team. It's A's Rays coming up later today at 7:05. Davis Schneider up for the Blue Jays. Takes the first pitch down and away. Ball 1. A's beat the Rays yesterday. Pretty dramatic game. Helped the Blue Jays start today. Only half a game back at Tampa Bay. 1-0 pitch. Called a strike. 1-1 to Davis Schneider. Red Sox beat the Reds yesterday, and they are hosting them again at Fenway Park today at 7:10. Richard Fitz against Brady Singer. And then at 8:05 Eastern, Jacob deGrom and the Texas Rangers host Brandon Young and the Baltimore Orioles. Next pitch way outside to Schneider. Skara had to reach across his body to snag it away from the backstop. It's 2-1. 2-1 ball game in favor of the Yankees. George Springer's home run cutting the deficit in half. 2-1 pitch. Called a strike. Dropped by Escara, but probably had the bottom of the zone. It's 2-2.
Yeah, J.C. Escara didn't do a very good job catching that baseball, but it was definitely in the strike zone.
Two-two pitch. Check swing. Pitch was high. They asked for an appeal to first. No swing, says Eric Backus very quickly. And it's full count to Davis Schneider.
How about that velo, though? 98 miles an hour with that four-seamer.
He has been a revelation, Max Fried, for the Yankees, especially with Garrett Cole and Luis Gil both on the injured list. His payoff pitch. Rolled over softly on the ground toward third. Charging in Chisholm. Gloves throws wide, and Davis Schneider's safe. Goldschmidt had to step off the bag to the left. He tried to swipe a tag, but he was too far away, and Chisholm is going to get charged with an error more than likely for that throw.
Well, Davis Schneider did a good job motoring down that line. It was almost like Jazz Chisholm was taking his time and then looked up, and Davis Schneider was about 3/4 of the way down that line, had to hurry up. Couldn't make a good throw to Paul Goldschmidt at first base.
They've ruled it a hit. I think that's a break for Jazz Chisholm personally. But Davis Schneider will take it. He's on first with 2 outs, and the pitch to Miles Straw is outside ball 1.
I was about to say, that's a great thing for Davis Schneider.
Straw grounded out to third base in the second, a play where Chisholm waited to throw it and only got him by a fraction of a step. 1-0. Check swing. Pitch was high. 2 balls and no strikes. Steve, a.k.a. Gar, texting in, listening with his very cute dog, Mia, listening from Ottawa as the 2-0 pitch misses outside to Straw, ball 3.
The outfield is actually playing a little bit shallow right now, so if you're Miles Straw and you can get something in a gap, you can guarantee that Davis Schneider will score from first base.
3-0 count, 2 outs, the pitch. Called strike, just grabbed the top of the zone. Schneider, though, he has to be really careful with the danger of Fried's pickoff move. He's jumping back on almost every pitch from Fried instead of taking a secondary away from first. Fried staring at Schneider. And he'll throw over. Schneider was moving back on that one, so there was really no play.
It almost looked to me like Davis Schneider was thinking about taking off there. I could have been wrong. We'll see on this pitch here.
Fried set at the belt, staring at Schneider again. Looks to home plate. Looks to Schneider, looks to home, kicks and offers home, and misses inside, ball 4. Straw is down to first, Schneider up to second. Blue Jays have had 3 guys reach this inning after only 1 reach in the entire first to third combined.
That was a great at-bat from Miles Straw. Took a tough pitch, a fastball on the inside part of the plate, just off the plate for ball 4. Blue Jays have runners at first and second now with 2 outs, but with a runner standing at second base, all you need is a broken bat blooper to score the tying run of this ballgame.
Matt Blick, the pitching coach, talking to the starter Max Fried. Feels like the time we should get over to the text line with all of the great listeners and fans of the Blue Jays chiming in right now. Scott is with his daughter. She's practicing for her G2 tomorrow. They're listening while she's driving around. Boy. Good luck. Good luck to Scott today and to his daughter tomorrow. Hopefully everything goes well. You passed your G2 first time?
I did, but it was touch and go for a little bit.
Same as me. Same as me. You can make some of the little mistakes as long as you don't make the big ones. Mound meeting over. Andres Jimenez up to the plate. First and second, 2 down. Blue Jays with a run in already this inning. It's 2-1 Yankees, bottom of the 4th. Fried looks back to second, now deals home. Down and away, ball 1. Andres Jimenez taps the plate, bounces the bat off his foot. And now the 1-0 pitch from Fried. Swing and a high fly ball center field. Drives back Bellinger to the warning track, to the wall. It's gone! How do you like that? A 3-run blast from Andres Jimenez. The one lefty of all the Blue Jays hitters goes yard. And it's 4-2 Blue Jays in the 4th.
Well, I was not expecting that from Andres Jimenez. What a tough matchup. Max Fried versus any left-handed hitter. Andres Jimenez got himself in a good count, a 1-0 count, and he absolutely hammered that baseball just out of the reach of Cody Bellinger and that wall in center field. My goodness.
The 5th home run of the season for Andres Jimenez as Tyler Heineman takes strike 1 with 2 outs. And the Blue Jays have scored 4 in the frame on a pair of homers to lead 4-2. The pitch. Swinging a liner foul. Deep down the left field line into the seats by Heineman. It's 0-2.
The Blue Jays have scored 4 runs, and that pitch count of Max Fried is now at 71. It's a pretty elevated pitch count, especially for a guy that didn't give up a base hit until this inning.
Fried's 0-2. Poked high in the air down the right field line, slicing toward foul territory. Judge leaps into the netting, can't come up with the play. That ball drops in. A couple fans get a real close-up look at the 6'7" right fielder, and Heineman gets an extra life.
I guess that's why you pay the big dollars to get into that Club 328 down there.
Yeah, you get to not only see but smell what Aaron Judge is like.
You get to get body checked by Aaron Judge.
Good news is we know that netting holds up now. 280-pound outfielder. 0-2 again. Sailed to the backstop by Fried, who just fell off the mound. This has been real weird. Fried gave up the homer to Springer, sure, but other than that, looked really good. Got an out from Vladdy and out from Kirk, and probably should have got Davis Schneider if not for a wide throw by Jazz Chisholm. Since a walk and a homer allowed. 1-2. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And I'm also wondering now, because Max Fried has given up these runs, will the Yankees challenge that call on the Davis Schneider base hit?
Go to the official scoring and ask for it to be an error. Very
because
possible.
If you're Max Fried, you want that to be an error.
2-2. Lined up the middle. Bellinger charging in center, makes the catch and ends the inning. The Blue Jays jump in front. They score 4 runs on 3 hits. A home run to start the inning by George Springer, and a 3-run homer to give the Blue Jays the lead by Andres Jimenez. Nobody left on base. 4-2 Blue Jays after 4. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball.
Enjoy favorites for less with Tim's Faves at participating restaurants in Toronto for a limited time only.
What if your drive was fueled with more? More protection, more performance. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline removes up to 100% of performance-robbing deposits to rejuvenate your engine's performance. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. More performance with every drive. Compared to lower octane fuels and gasoline direct injection engine fuel injectors, actual effects and benefits may vary according to vehicle type, driving conditions, and driving style.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Marshall smashes the ball to right field. It's gone!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's the fifth inning, brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care today. Blue Jays 4, Yankees 2. Canada Day game at Rogers Center. Beautiful day. Sun shining down as Kevin Gausman steps onto the hill and deals to Aaron Judge. First pitch strike. Sun is starting to be blocked out a little bit by the stands over left field and in foul territory on the left side. Left field and center field mostly covered in shade. 0-1. Swinging a foul back, 0-2. That one fouled back off of the lower body of Heineman. He gave a thumbs up to the third base dugout of the Blue Jays, but he does seem to be in a little bit of pain.
Home plate umpire Doug Eddings slowly walked out to Kevin Gausman. They're going to have a chat right now, but they're just giving a little bit of extra time to Tyler Heineman.
Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali is our host and producer today. Tom Young and Austin Mackey, our technical directors. An all-Canadian crew for you in the Timbermart broadcast booth on this Canada Day. (4-2) Blue Jays. Heineman back in the crouch and Judge back in the righty box. A double and walk today for the slugger. The pitch. Swing and a liner just past the leaping dive of Leo Jimenez at short and down in left center field. Jimenez went full stretch slamming into the turf, doing everything he could to bring it in, but it was just beyond him, and it's a single for Judge, his third time aboard in 3 tries.
Well, it was a good pitch. It was a split finger down and in. Aaron Judge just has so much power, such a powerful guy. Hit that off the end of the bat, just out of the reach of Jimenez at shortstop.
Jazz Chisholm Jr. to the plate. The pitch. Outside, ball 1. Chisholm hit his 14th home run of the season yesterday. It was his 4th home run in the last 5 games. 1-0. Low, 2 balls, no strikes. He's had a lot of power and hit for a much better average since returning from the injured list when he went out with an oblique issue. Adopting a new philosophy, 70% intensity Jazz, rather than the guy who at the beginning of the year was chasing a lot and swinging too hard. 2-0 pitch, outside, 3 balls, no strikes.
Might want to throw a strike here, but you better make it a good one. Jazz does have pop, like you mentioned. He'll run into one if you leave one over the middle.
3-0 pitch. Swing and a deep fly ball foul. That goes off of the front facing of the 4th level boxes down the right field line and drops into the 100 level seats.
No surprise there that Jazz Chisholm was swinging 3-0. Sitting dead red, waiting for something right down the middle.
Judge leading off first base. Gausman steps off. The Smiths have texted in with a great picture of their dog, wishing a happy Canada Day from Wollaston Lake, Ontario. Happy Canada Day to you and everyone listening. Adam in Brooks, Alberta, listening while floating in the pool. That looks pretty sweet. Send in a picture. 3-1. Foul back by Chisholm. Full count.
It's a good job getting back in this count. 2 really good fastballs. One inside, almost on the black, as Braden Fisher starts to get loose down in that bullpen. And then that second fastball that was elevated kind of right down the middle. Probably not where Gosman wanted that pitch, but still got your strike.
90 pitches on the day for Kevin Gosman. He'll step off, throw to first and Judge. Dives back in using his long 6'7" figure to extend for the back.
Almost looked like he didn't even slide. He just flopped down.
Yeah. Just got to lie down when he's back there. He was an all-state baseball, football, and basketball player in high school in California. The pitch to Chisholm, grounded foul.
Tyler Heineman is just getting crushed this inning. He got hit by that backswing of Jazz Chisholm. Got hit on the inner thigh by a foul ball earlier on in this inning. Can't catch a break.
Chisholm got him in the mask right there on the backswing. Chisholm finishes high with one hand, so he will wrap it around him sometimes. Payoff pitch. Down and in, ball 4. A walk to Jazz Chisholm. Puts 2 aboard with nobody out.
Now you have a pretty important situation coming up. You have Giancarlo Stanton walking to the plate. You have nobody out in this inning. Runners at first and second.
As early as it is, I don't know if the Blue Jays are going to let this go much longer. Gosman already on 92 pitches.
It seems to me like Braden Fisher's pretty loose down in that bullpen. This might be his last batter.
A lot of traffic for the Yankees, who are out hitting the Blue Jays 6-3, despite the Blue Jays leading 4-2, top of the 5th. First and second, no outs. Pitch to Stanton. Swing and a miss. Not only a hit advantage for the Yankees, they've also walked 4 times in 4+ innings. A 1. Swing and a miss again. After giving him the splitter first pitch, Gosman speeds it up with the 4-seamer, getting Stanton behind it. It's 0-2.
Giancarlo has no idea what's coming now. You could tell with that last swing that he was expecting a split finger. Gosman just blew that fastball by him.
0-2. Bounced a splitter off of the chest of Heineman, and it rolls to the first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's a tough block from Tyler Heineman. That split finger, I think, bounced in front of home plate. Just squared up Tyler Heineman right in the center of that chest. Aaron Judge at second base doesn't go anywhere.
It's Judge on second, Chisholm on first. Second baseman Andres Jimenez keeping Judge close. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Powers up the fastball to 96 miles an hour, and there's 1 out in the top of the 5th.
That's the good stuff right there. 96 above the strike zone. Like I mentioned, it seemed like Giancarlo was a little bit lost in that at-bat, and that's when it's fun to be a pitcher. Kevin Gosman chooses to throw that 4-seamer, blows it right by him.
1 out in the inning. Gosman on 96 pitches. Remains on the hill, first and second, as Jason Dominguez comes up. Dominguez 1 for 2 with a 2-run single in the first. The pitch. Swing and a high fly ball left center field. Strahm moving toward the gap and back toward the track. Stops still on the turf, makes the catch. Judge tagging from second. He'll go to third. Throw goes back into second to keep Jazz Chisholm at first, and there are 2 down with runners on the corners.
I tell you what, we won't talk about this again, and I'm sure really nobody else will. But Miles Straw throwing that ball into second base, keeping Jazz Chisholm at first base, is so important. A lot of young center fielders would have tried to get Aaron Judge going to third base, and then Jazz would have gone to second base, and you get the tying run into scoring position. Such an important play by a very smart outfielder.
Miles Straw has been great defensively in the outfield for the Blue Jays this season, his first year in Toronto. First and third, and the pitch to Anthony Volpe is just inside. Volpe brings his hands up high out of the way. Ball 1. Four to 2 for the Blue Jays. They just scored 4 in the 4th inning to take the lead before this top of the 5th. Judge on third, Chisholm on first, 1-0. Hit on the ground toward third, backhanded Ernie Clement. Takes his time, tosses to first. Big stretch by Vladdy to end the inning. Gosman gives up a hit and a walk to start the frame, but he'll walk off the mound with another scoreless inning. 4-2 Blue Jays, middle of the 5th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet.
The name of the business is Legacy Catering. We all were talking about how mom taught us all how to cook. She was a cook at the public school system for ages. So we all started to cook with her, so we decided, to do the business.
Energy and confidence with testosterone therapy, peptide treatments, and sexual performance solutions delivered in a space built for men, modern and judgment-free. You don't have to settle. With 10 GTA locations to serve you, visit GameDayMen'sHealth.ca. Game Day Men's Health. Feel like you again.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike three. Middle in fastball, but he puts it by Cruz. 2 down.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
4-2 Blue Jays. Bottom of the 5th inning, Leo Jimenez digs in to lead it off against Max Fried. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Southpaw Fried offers home, and Jimenez takes strike one. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Canada Day matchup has been an exciting one so far. 0-1. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's been a bit of a role reversal. Usually the Yankees known for hitting it out of the yard. The Blue Jays have been good at stringing it together this year. 1-1. Fouled off 1-2. Instead, the Yankees have had a lot of traffic, but have only scored 2, while the Blue Jays have scored 4 runs on only 3 hits. Just the second time this year that Max Fried has allowed multiple homers in a start, and the second time he's allowed 4 earned runs or more. 1-2. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And just a reminder, this is his 18th start of the year.
He's been good.
Really good.
He's been really, really good. Like I said when he hit that home run, I was a bit surprised that Andres Jimenez was able to get to it.
2-2. Inside, ball 3. Not only did the Blue Jays get to him last inning, but they've driven up his pitch count a little bit on 80 pitches right now, with nobody out in the 5th. Left-hander winds, and the 3-2 to Leo Jimenez. Off the handle, a fly ball out to right field. Moving toward the line in the sun, Aaron Judge makes a 2-handed grab, and there's 1 out.
Down in that Blue Jays bullpen, it seems like Braden Fisher has sat down, and now Nick Sandlin is getting loose. Probably has the top of the 6th inning for the Jays.
And Kevin Gausman around 100 pitches as he finished off the 5th. A lot of traffic. They might just say, hey, we're happy with what he gave us, and let's move forward. 1 out, pitch to Ernie Clement is lined to left field. Dominguez on the run, curling in, reaches down and makes a shoestring catch on an awkward route to get to it, but it works. 2 down.
A little bit of a banana route. I think he went back at first, thought that Ernie Clement hit that ball harder than he did. Ernie Clement got jammed on that pitch from Max Fried. Nevertheless, Jason Dominguez with a shoestring catch for the 2nd out of the inning.
With 2 outs, let's go quickly to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Unfortunately, 3 games rained out today. Postponements in the Northeast. The Phillies-Padres rained out as George Springer takes low ball 1. The Nationals-Tigers rained out in Washington. And the Mets-Brewers rained out in New York. All 3 of those games postponed on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Other than that, no one else in action right now, just the Blue Jays. 1-0. Hit sharply on the ground toward third. Bobbled on his knees by Chisholm. Picks it up bare hand, slings to first in time to end the inning. Fried sets down the Blue Jays in order, but the Blue Jays will take a 4-2 lead to the 6th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center.
The name of the business is Legacy Catering. We all were talking about how mom taught us all how to cook. She was a cook at the public school system for ages. So we all started to cook with her, so we decided, to do the business, so we went to figure out what we're going to call it. So we said, let's cook in honor of our mother. So that's what Legacy came in. And just remember that Legacy Catering is about people. And this is what barbecuing is all about, and this is why we love it.
Texas needs. Certain conditions apply.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Foul tip, strike 3. Jeff Hoffman punches out a trio and a big flex from the righty.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's the 6th inning, brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care today. Happy Canada Day. Welcome back to Rogers Centre in downtown Toronto. New pitcher for the Blue Jays in a pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Nick Sandlin is into the ballgame. Side-arming righty takes over with the Blue Jays up 4-2, top of the 6th, and his pitch to catcher J.C. Escarra. Left-handed hitter, bends the knee, but takes strike 1. Sandlin works with 2 fastballs, 4-seamer and sinker, also a slider and splitter. His 16th appearance of the season around a lengthy IL stint, a 2.13 ERA for the righty. His 0-1. Escarra hits it back just under our feet on the line. 0-2. We were talking about the Crown Rust Control Center there earlier, but the Flaxey family in New Lisker texting in. A happy Canada Day to all of you. Appreciate you listening today. So many texts, by the way. Thank you so much for everyone reaching out. And a happy Canada Day to everyone. 0-2 pitch to Escarra. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. A 1-2 pitch. High, 2 balls and 2 strikes. J.C. Escarra, 30 years old, out of Florida International University. Longtime Orioles minor leaguer before getting up with the Yankees this year. 2-2. Called, strike 3. Frozen by a backdoor slider. Escarra with some words for Doug Eddings. That pitch probably a little bit outside, but Escarra walks back to the dugout, 1 out.
That was a pitcher's pitch. A beautiful slider. Maybe a hair off the plate outside, but you can't take that with 2 strikes if you're J.C. Escarra. You have to at least try to foul that ball off. Actually, we're getting a slow motion replay. It looked like it might have just clipped that strike zone. Big first out.
1 out, and the pitch to DJ LeMahieu. Bounced over the hill, up the middle. Long run, Leo Jimenez reaches out. It's just beyond him and Andres Jimenez into center field for a base hit. 2-hit day for DJ LeMahieu. 2 for 3 with a pair of singles.
Well, I think that even if Leo Jimenez would have gotten to that baseball, I don't think he would have thrown DJ LeMahieu out at first base. It was just perfectly placed right up the middle.
(4-2) Blue Jays, 1 on, 1 out. Paul Goldschmidt up, open stance right side. Sandlin hunched over, kicks and deals. And it's a called strike. Goldschmidt backed out of the way of that slider that ended up dropping across the plate and hitting the outside edge. It's been a very nice day for Paul Goldschmidt. 2 for 3, a single, a double, and a run scored. 0-1. On the ground toward short. Leo Jimenez flips to Andres Jimenez over to first for an inning-ending double play. 6-4-3. The Jimenezes link up to help out Nick Sandlin, and the Blue Jays take a 4-2 advantage to the bottom of the 6th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sport.
Your teammates know you to be a Lone Ranger on the field, Capricorn, preferring to fly solo when you practice your craft. But keeping yourself closed off from collaboration robs you of the improvement that comes from teaming up. Reach out to a trusted teammate to be on the receiving end of your curveballs, and you'll both find an acceleration in your skills.
A snack that Freddie cannot resist.
I would have to say chips and guacamole. Organic mango, yep.
Is that because of the strong Dominican contingent in the major leagues, bro? Has anybody ever struck out and gone crazy and smashed the cooler full of mangoes?
Nah, our team's not really into smashing each other's stuff, I guess.
Are you a seasoning guy? You like to drown your stuff in dips and sauces?
No. Gotta watch my figure.
And it looks great, brother.
I appreciate it.
Very sexy man.
Yeah,
Let's go. Freddie Freeman, ladies and gentlemen.
Anytime we can put on these uniforms, the same ones that those guys played before us in the Negro Leagues, it's an honor to put it on and to share this field with them.
It's a piece of history, so I mean, to be able to wear it present day is honestly an unreal feeling.
Once the lights are... She'll use her laser to help treat your snoring, an oral appliance like a sports mouth guard for your sleep apnea. Your partner will thank you.
Thanks, Drew.
Yeah, you bet.
Back to the desk.
Book your appointment with Dr. Paulette Pillersdorf. Call 647-243-2006.
Hey, this is Chad Green. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timbermark broadcast booth. Bottom of the sixth inning, I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. 4-2 Blue Jays over the Yankees. Max Fried to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. High chopper, hit to third. Charging in Chisholm, gloves face high, rifles over to first in time. His best play of the day at the hot corner, and there's one out.
My goodness, Vlad was motoring down that line. Actually, I thought that was going to be an easy play for Jazz Chisholm. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. made that pretty tough over there.
New baseball, so Chisholm will dump it away towards the fans off to his right. And Alejandro Kirk steps up. DH today for the Blue Jays is 0 for 2. First pitch breaking ball lands in the zone for Fried, strike one. Back to the text line 590-590, where people all across the country and even around the world texting in on Canada Day. 0-1 to Kirk, swing and a miss, 0-2. Driving right now from Banff to Dundurn, Saskatchewan. Want to wish a happy Canada Day to a big Blue Jays fan, 6-year-old Emmett, listening to the game with their parent right now. Really appreciate you guys texting in. Next pitch to Kirk outside, 1-2. Also, we don't have a name, I apologize, but someone in Calgary is having a birthday party for their mother-in-law, and it sounds like a lot of fun. Water balloons, ribs, and listening to the Blue Jays. Thanks for listening. Happy Canada Day and happy birthday. 1-2, lined by Kirk to left, and foul. Where the wall juts out toward the field of play, Kirk basically hit the edge of the netting right near that blue pole that holds it up. A near miss, and it's still 1-2.
Kirk was all over that cutter down and in from Max Fried. Max Fried now at 90 pitches. He's probably got about 10 pitches, maybe 15 pitches to go until his day is over.
No one up right now, though, in the Yankee pen, curiously. 1-2 pitch, hit foul to the right, and into the second deck. Still 97 out of the arm of the lefty. One out, base is empty. Davis Schneider waiting on deck as Fried delivers to Kirk. Hit high in the air down the right field line. That ball slicing toward the seats, foul, and it will just bounce in to the seats, keeping it away from Big Aaron Judge, and it's 1-2.
In his last start against the Cincinnati Reds, when he went 7 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, he threw 106 pitches.
His 93rd today. Outside, ball 2.
That's a great take. Just outside with that sinker, 94 miles an hour.
Fried, who often calls his own pitches, going to his left hip to the pitch calm. Now he'll deal the 2-2 to Kirk. Outside, ball 3. Meanwhile, Kirk continues to be one of baseball's toughest outs with 2 strikes. Still hitting .315 this year in 2 strike counts. The 3-2. Swing and a hard hit grounder to third. Picked up on the edge of the glove by Chisholm. He'll transfer and toss to first, and there are 2 down. Good battle by Kirk, but Fried eventually got him to hit it hard, but to the right spot and hit it on the ground.
Yeah, he was all over that pitch. Jazz Chisholm actually made a pretty good play over there. Alejandro Kirk hit that 106 miles on the ground. Obviously, Jazz Chisholm, once he fields that ground ball, he looks to see who's running, takes his time, flips that baseball over there for the second out.
2 outs, Davis Schneider to the plate. 4-2 Blue Jays, bottom of the 6th. Base is empty, and the first pitch in there, strike one. Nick texted us, Chris, he has lost his phone. He's going back and forth from Holland Marsh to Markham to Holland Marsh, and now on the 400. Hopefully you find it soon. And once you get it, Sportsnet app, you can listen to our broadcast even without the radio. 0-1. Hit off the end of the bat, a liner foul to the right. 0-2. Casey texted us a happy Canada Day. Casey is flying from Australia to Toronto right now, catching some Blue Jays baseball on the way. 2 outs and a 2-strike pitch to Schneider. Check swing, pitch outside, appeal down to first, no swing, says Eric Backus, and that keeps the inning going.
So you're flying from Australia, you're texting and listening to the Blue Jays games. My, how times have changed.
Seriously. Fried kicks, and the 1-2. Curveball froze Schneider, strike 3. Might have been a little high, but in the zone of Doug Eddings, Davis Schneider goes down, and after 6 innings, it's the Blue Jays 4, the Yankees 2. Happy Canada Day. You're listening.
And you get exactly what the best builders trust. That's as sexy as drywall gets. Timbermart, Canada's building center.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, he got him. Back-to-back punches for Chad Green, 2 down.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. Alongside Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Show Ali, our host and producer. Tom Young and Austin Mackey, our technical directors. New pitcher into the game for the Blue Jays. Toronto up 4-2, top of the 7th. Lefty Justin Brule is in a big spot. His pitch to Cody Bellinger. Called high, looks pretty good. It's 1-0. Pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. 28-year-old lefty's 1-0. Is lined through the right side by Bellinger, a base hit, bouncing into the glove of George Springer out in right field. No Brendan Little for the Blue Jays today. He's pitched back-to-back days, and Mason Fluharty is going through a bit of a tougher stretch. So the Blue Jays go to the lefty Brule here in a big spot, up by 2 in the 7th inning. Now, the tough part is because he gives up the leadoff single, they had a tough decision. They decide to walk Aaron Judge anyway. That'll put runners on first and second. No outs, top of the 7th. Jazz Chisholm Jr. coming up. and Braden Fisher throwing in the pen and left for the Blue Jays.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that probably don't agree with this decision to intentionally walk Aaron Judge, but with a 2-run lead, Aaron Judge is the tying run standing in that batter's box. A guy with 30 homers, he can go deep at any time. Might as well take your chances putting him at first base, and then you have that left-handed batter coming up with that left-hander standing on the mound.
Jazz Chisholm Jr. was a little bit late, so he had to use his time before the first pitch, and now he'll step into the box. Chisholm 0 for 1 today, a pop-up to second and a pair of full-count walks. First and second, no outs. Corners in, and the first pitch to Chisholm. Called the ball, might have had the inside edge. Interesting zone today, ball one.
That zone's gotten really small all of a sudden. I don't love that.
Rule kicks and delivers. Pitch is outside, ball 2. So look at the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Rays in action later, 7:05. They'll host the A's. Red Sox host the Reds at 7:10. And the Orioles play on the road at Texas at 8:05 Eastern. Pitch to Chisholm. Right over the heart of the plate with a fastball for strike 1.
And this is likely Justin Brule's last batter. You have Braden Fisher warming up in that bullpen. Giancarlo Stanton is on deck for the Yankees.
Sinker, sweeper, cutter for the lefty. 2-1. Hit on the ground, foul. 2-2.
Big pitch coming up here. You want to have at least one out when Braden Fisher comes in this ball game with big Stanton at the plate.
Two throwing in the Yankee pen right now. Braden Fisher throwing in the Blue Jay pen. 2-2. Line to left field. That one is foul. Scorched into the seats way down the left field line. Two. Outside, ball 3. Blue Jays have won close games each of the last 2 days, which is great, but it makes you use your bullpen a lot, and now they are a little bit stretched thin. Single and an intentional walk this inning. First and second, no outs. And the full count offering to Jazz Chisholm. Swing and a grounder to first. Vladdy gloves it, throws to second for 1. Leo Jimenez is going to hold on to the ball and not try to fire to first where Brule was racing over. Not sure they would have gotten him. And Jimenez makes the safe play. So 1 out as Judge is retired at second on a fielder's choice hit by Chisholm. Runners on the corners. And John Schneider out of the dugout to make a pitching change. Brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. 4-2 Blue Jays. Runners on first and
million. The team is actually picking up. Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
thank you very much, Joe. Huge spot for the rookie, Braden Fisher. First and third for the Yankees. Blue Jays leading 4-2. 1 out, top of the 7th. So the tying run on first in Jazz Chisholm as Giancarlo Stanton bats for the Yankees. Rookie Fisher in his 22nd game. ERA a shade below 2. Right on right, the pitch. Chisholm takes off from first, now stops. Throw back to first by Heineman, and it's just late. Pitch was called as strike. Stanton took it. I'm not sure if Chisholm was trying to get into a run down there or just got indecisive, but he nearly got himself picked off.
Yeah, the Blue Jays are taking a look, but I thought he was safe at first base. They're not going to challenge that play, but I'm pretty sure he just thought that he... Yeah, we're seeing the replay now. He kind of slipped a little bit.
Fisher's 0-1. Hit on the ground toward third and through Ernie Clement into left field. In to score Cody Bellinger. Around to third, Jazz Chisholm Jr. Safe at first is Stanton. It looked like a bit of a tricky hop, but a play that you often see Clement make, and instead it's now 4-3 for the Blue Jays with the tying run on third and only one out.
Yeah, we've seen Ernie Clement make that play pretty often this season, but it was a tough play. Little short hop. He was trying to backhand that, maybe a little bit of a weird hop as well. A lot of spin on that baseball. I think it might have hit the lip of that grass, but probably a play that Ernie Clement makes about 9 out of 10 times.
Pitch to Jason Dominguez is grounded toward first off the glove of Vladdy, and everyone's safe again. In to score Chisholm. Up to second is Stanton, and two plays you almost never see from the Blue Jays have cost them the lead.
I think Jazz Chisholm broke on contact, so Vladimir Guerrero Jr. had his eyes on Jazz Chisholm breaking home and just didn't come up with that baseball. That is a huge play in this ballgame.
4-4. Should be a pair of errors, and it is on the Blue Jays in the last two plays. Pitch to Anthony Volpe. Called strike. Each of the corner infielders for the Blue Jays committing errors, Clement and Guerrero. Next pitch is hit to deep right center field by Volpe. Going back, Straw makes a running catch on the track. Stanton returns to second. He was not tagging. He'll remain there. And there are two down.
Another nice play from Miles Straw out around the warning track in right center. Anthony Volpe gave that ball a ride, but Miles Straw again with the nice play. Gets that ball back in quickly. Keeps Giancarlo Stanton at second base with 2 outs now in the inning.
Only one hit in this inning. Intentional walk, fielder's choice, error, flyout since. First and second, 2 down. J.C. Escarra, the catcher, is up. Fisher's pitch. Fouled back.
This has just been a messy inning.
Yeah, two plays that, I mean, are they the easiest plays in the world? No, at the same time. I think both of those players, and Vladdy and Clement, would tell you they have to make those plays, especially in the situations that they were in. 0-1. High, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think the Ernie Clement play was a little bit harder than Vlad's. Worst case scenario, you keep that ball in front of you if you're Ernie Clement.
Well, but he didn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That should be your mentality. Worst case scenario, you keep that ball in front of you and that run doesn't score.
1-1. Hit very high, a pop-up first base side foul. And that one out of play.
But then Vladimir Guerrero Jr., that's a play that he makes 10 out of 10 times all day long with his eyes closed.
Four game. Top of the 7th inning. First and second with 2 outs. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Yankees get 2 on a pair of Blue Jay errors. 1 hit for New York in the inning and 2 left on. 4-4 game at the 7th inning stretch. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local.
I'm going to throw out a restaurant kitchen term to you, and then hit me with a baseball one. I'll start first.
Okay.
Mise en place.
Oh, mise en place. That is, as the chef, you put all your different ingredients out kind of before you start cooking, right?
You got it, man. Yeah. That's the most important
That's a tough one. I hear this one a lot because of my name, Can of Corn.
Easy fly ball.
Mark, Canada's Building Center.
Let's go, baby! Tuesdays on City TV. All new episodes of America's Got Talent, where talent soars.
I love that!
It's perfect.
That was incredible.
And sometimes crashes.
This is not working. I'm saying no. I'm
never going to get those 2 minutes back.
But it's always entertaining.
This is just the beginning.
All new episodes of America's Got Talent, Tuesdays 8/7 Central on City TV.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Clement vacuums it up, throws to second one. Jimenez to first, double play.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to downtown Toronto. Blue Jays are tied with the New York Yankees 4-4 after an error-filled top of the 7th from Toronto. New pitcher for New York is the right-handed reliever Mark Leiter Jr. in a pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Blue Jays saw Leiter yesterday and got to him pretty bad. 3 hits and 3 runs put up against Leiter, who only recorded 1 out in the game. Bumped his ERA up to 4.18. This is his 39th appearance. He pitches to Miles Straw, and the first pitch is called a strike. Straw, Jimenez, Heineman due up for the Blue Jays this inning. Leiter kicks and deals and skips one to the plate. That was the splitter from Mark Leiter, rather the curveball, pardon me. Sinker, splitter, curve, cutter, and slider for the right-hander and former Blue Jay. 8 games with the Blue Jays in 2018. When he got Tommy John surgery, missed all of the next year. 1-1 pitch in the dirt. Bounced another curve in front of home, 2-1.
Mark Leiter's struggling just a little bit. He's given up at least a run in each of his last 3 outings, not including today, of course.
A Yankees deadline acquisition last year. The next pitch to Straw hit high in the air out to right. Moving back, Judge, and toward right center. He'll make the catch, and there's 1 out. We go over quickly to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. So reviewing some of the non-AL East matchups today. Paul Skeens will take the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates as they host the St. Louis Cardinals at 6:40 at PNC Park. Seattle Mariners are the team behind the Blue Jays in terms of wild card positioning. Emerson Hancock faces Kansas City's Michael Lorenzen at T-Mobile Park at 9:40 Eastern. Out-of-town scores and news brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. First pitch strike to Andres Jimenez, who hit a 3-run homer in the 4th to give the Blue Jays a lead. But now a 4-4 game, the pitch. Swing and a liner up the middle, down in center field. Second knock of the day for Andres Jimenez, who started to get it going on the road trip and has brought some of that hot bat back to Toronto.
And you would imagine with the bottom part of the order coming up, Tyler Heineman and Leo Jimenez, you would try to get him to second base with less than 2 outs in this inning. Obviously, Andres Jimenez, a guy that is very good at stealing bases. Let's see what he does here.
And no longer the very tricky to run on Max Fried in the game. And it's J.C. Escar behind the plate, who's caught 1 of 19 potential base stealers this year. Step off, throw over to first. Jimenez dives back in.
And obviously Mark Leiter Jr. is concerned about that as well.
Playing in at third, Jazz Chisholm Jr. Up the middle is the shortstop Volpe, with switch hitting Heineman batting left. The pitch. High and outside, ball 1.
Addison Barger has a helmet on and a bat in his hand.
Looks like he could be entering the game for the Blue Jays soon. 4-4, bottom of the 7th, the pitch. High and outside, ball 2. Surprised Jimenez hasn't tried to go yet. Maybe at this point you don't with a 2-0 count. What do you think?
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. I think that with a 2-0 count, maybe you're taking all the way if you're Tyler Heineman, or obviously swinging if you get something right down the middle.
Next pitch is called outside. 3-0.
It seemed like Heineman was taking all the way there. In a 3-0 count with 1 out, obviously Andres Jimenez isn't going now. You take your chances and see if Heineman just takes a walk here.
.30 pitch. Called strike, just got the top of the zone. Andres Jimenez on first base in conversation with first base coach Mark Budzinski. 4-4 score, 1 out, bottom of the 7th. Mark Leiter Jr.'s 3-1. Jimenez off on the pitch. The pitch is low ball 4. Throw goes down to second anyway. It wouldn't have been in time, but it'll be a walk as Tyler Heineman dumps the foot protection, his elbow guard, and the bat, and will walk down to first base. 2 on with 1 out.
That's a good at-bat from Tyler Heineman. Here comes Addison Barger. He's going to pinch hit for Leo Jimenez.
Barger started today on the bench with the very tough lefty Max Fried getting the start, and now it looks like Aaron Boone will make a pitching change. There's no lefty up right now for the Yankees, but there is a right-hander throwing as Boone makes the slow walk out to the hill. 4-4 game. 1 out, runners on first and second, bottom of the 7th inning. Boone puts a hand on the shoulder of Leiter and makes the point to the bullpen in right field. Pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer of the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian.
What is something that you snack on that you don't worry about?
I love Uncrustables. I could eat like 10 of them in one sitting.
And no regard for his body.
I don't even wait till they thaw out.
Hey, put them in a toaster next time. Just toast it, yep. It'll change your life.
Yeah, just an incredible play by Riley Green.
You are an all-star on the field and off, bro.
I appreciate it.
Hey,
thank you.
Riley Green, bro, food genius.
History of the NBA. Blue Jays baseball brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Back to the action with the call at the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Shulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. Recently off the injured list, the Yankees are going to Luke Weaver here in the bottom of the 7th inning. First and second for the Blue Jays. Only 1 out, and Addison Barger set to hit, trying to break open this 4-4 tie. 29th appearance of the year for the right-hander Weaver, a converted starter from his days with the Cardinals and the Diamondbacks pitching in the rotation. Weaver's got a 1.5 ERA in 28 games, 8 saves, and in almost 30 innings, he's walked about a batter an inning while walking only, struck out about a batter an inning while walking about only 8. For Weaver, a 4-seamer in the mid-90s, changeup, cutter, slider. 31-year-old in his 10th season, looks around to his infield defense and now shrugs his shoulders and steps on the hill. Left-handed hitter Addison Barger off the bench to bat for Leo Jimenez. First and second, 1 out. A look to second by Weaver, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Big hack on a first pitch changeup from Weaver, 0-1.
That's the difference maker for Weaver. He's got a very, very good changeup. That one right there was 88 miles an hour, just below that strike zone.
Right on left, the 0-1. Bounce to the plate, skips off his Escara. Jimenez took a step toward third, but Andres Jimenez deciding not to risk it. Goes back to the bag, 1-1. Infield playing Barger to pull. Shortstop Volpe is behind the runner on second, Andres Jimenez. DJ LeMahieu far away from the second base pad. Weaver's 1-1. Fastball in there at 96. Outside corner, great pitch to get ahead 1-2.
That's a tough sequence. 2 good changeups and then a dotted fastball at 96 down and away. Almost impossible to square that pitch up.
Barger asks for time, steps back out of the box. It's the one day his royal blue batting gloves don't match, as he has the red jersey and helmet on for Canada Day. 4-4 game, 1 out, bottom of the 7th. Weaver's 1-2. Inside and low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I like this count right here for Addison Barger. Let's see if Weaver will hang one of those changeups.
Two count. Weaver looks to second, kicks and offers. A little bit down, a little bit outside at 96, ball 3.
I don't know how you take that pitch. That's a really good take from Addison Barger, just below that strike zone. The only thing I can think of, it kind of looked like a ball out of the hand, so maybe it's a little bit easier to take.
Full count, 1 out, first and second for the Blue Jays. Weaver offers, and Barger hits it off the end of the bat, foul, bouncing high to the on first. Another 3-2 pitch. Check swing, called, strike 3. 95 at the knees, and Barger is rung up. Barger, though, is saying catcher's interference on the check swing, and the Blue Jays are given an opportunity here to look into their video room and see if they want to challenge. And they are going to challenge. Barger right away pointed for it, saying the glove got me, and we'll see if he's right as we get the slow motion replay.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know how we even have to go to review.
The Toronto Blue Jays are challenging the no call of catcher's interference.
This is an easy call. We'll get this one pretty quickly from New York.
I mean, that wasn't even a skim. That's flush, the bat into the glove. Currently it stands first and second, 2 outs, but if/when they overturn this, it'll be bases loaded, 1 out.
If I'm Addison Barger, I am going to first base, and you can tell by the reaction that the replay was just played on that big TV out in center field. That's pretty obvious.
Now, was it a late swing? Yes. Was the ball almost already in the glove of J.C. Escarra? Absolutely. But that's not against the rules.
After review, there was catcher's interference. The call's overturned. 1 out first. Toronto changes foul.
So that will be an error on J.C. Escarra. A big break for the Blue Jays. They load the bases with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. It's a 4-4 game.
Also, that was a gross pitch from Luke Weaver.
Really good.
Tough break for him out there.
Corners in, middle infield back. 1 out, bases loaded in a tie game, home half of the 7th. Ernie Clement, the top of the order hitter, up for the Blue Jays. Weaver on the hill. Kicks and offers. And misses down and away, ball 1. After the Blue Jays committed 2 errors that both helped bring in runs in the top of the 7th, an error from the Yankees on the catcher's interference in the bottom half. (1-0) in there, 95 to even the count at 1-1. Clement 0 for 3 today, but still a .303 hitter on the season. He's driven in 22 runs. He faces a 1-1 from Weaver and lines it towards short. Sliding, it's off the glove of Volpe into left. Jimenez scores. Everyone else up 90 feet, station to station, and the Blue Jays take a 5-4 lead on Ernie Clement's RBI single in the 7th.
Well, that's a good approach from Ernie Clement. You could tell he wasn't trying to do too much with that tough pitch. Hit a low line drive to Anthony Volpe at shortstop. One hopped over that glove, and the bases are still loaded with just 1 out in the inning.
Everyone but the first baseman Goldschmidt playing back as George Springer steps up and Luke Weaver steps off. Heineman on third, Barger on second, and Clement on first. The pitch to Springer. Outside and low, ball 1. George Springer has a homer today and on the road trip hit his 8th career grand slam. (1-0) pitch, swing and a miss. Chased a changeup ankle high, and it's 1-1.
That changeup is almost unhittable. Looks exactly like his fastball.
He's reinvented himself and become a very big part of this Yankees pen, closing in the playoffs last year. Luke Weaver with a 1-1. Springer takes it just a hair low with the changeup. 2 balls and 1 strike.
That take right there tells me that the approach is see it up. If anything's down, you take it, especially with that changeup that Weaver has.
So that barely missed.
Yeah.
Right on right, the 2-1 pitch from Luke Weaver. Swing and a high fly ball. Left center field and deep. Back to the wall. It is gone! Grand slam, George Springer. His 100th homer as a Toronto Blue Jay blows it open in the 7th. Blue Jays 9, Yankees 4 on Canada Day.
Well, it doesn't get any better than that. How about George Springer? Just demolished that pitch. He got his mistake over the heart of the plate. A fastball right down the middle. And he hammered that thing for a grand slam and a 9-4 Blue Jays lead.
His 9th career grand slam. What a moment for George Springer. Still only 1 out in the inning as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. takes a pitch outside. Ball 1. Weaver winds and offers, and Vladdy looking to go deep. Fouls one back, 1-1.
And you could bet that Pete Walker is now thinking, kind of breathing a sigh of relief, because he doesn't really have to use his high leverage guys now.
Blue Jays may not have had Little, Fluharty, or Hoffman available today. And they've already had to piece it together a little bit. 1-1. Vladdy swings and bounces a ball to first, waiting for it. Goldschmidt fields, goes to the bag, and there's 1 out. Or pardon me, 2 down.
What a moment. It doesn't get any better than that. What a moment on Canada Day. A grand slam against the New York Yankees. This is a gigantic game for both teams.
Walk out to the hill from Aaron Boone. It'll be a 3rd pitching change of the inning for the Yankees. 9-4 Blue Jays, 2 outs, bottom 7 after the George Springer grand slam. Pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware.
A lot of baseball fans have some familiarity with the T206 American Tobacco Card set. Of course, features the famous Hannes Wagner card. What we have here are 3 cards from the lesser-known T205 set, which really was a successor to T206. T206 came out in 1909. These 3 cards, as part of the T205 set, came out in 1911.
Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back down to a raucous Rogers Center with the call. Here's Ben Shulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. Blue Jays up 9-4 on the New York Yankees. Grand slam by George Springer after Ernie Clement's single gave the Blue Jays the lead. And this game has changed in a big way. New pitcher for the Yankees, right-hander Jeff Hartley. Called up to start the series for the injured Fernando Cruz. He makes his Yankees debut as he misses down and away, ball 1. 2 out, space is empty in the bottom of the 7th. Hartley at AAA this year, 3.34 ERA in 24 games. The pitch. Called strike. Blue Jays had Yariel Rodriguez throwing at one point, but they'll sit him down up 9-4. Chad Green is loose. Next pitch up and into Kirk, who checks his swing. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two-one pitch. Swing and a miss by Kirk. Out in front there on a breaking ball at 84. That was a slider. It's 2-2. No doubt it's a big loss for Aaron Boone's club that they had to put Fernando Cruz on the injured list at the outset of this series. He might have pitched in both of the spots where Boone went to guys the last 2 days, mainly Mark Leiter, and both times runs ended up scoring. Kirk fouls off the 2-2 high into the seats left side. Drops into a sea of hands, still 2-2. Hartlieb kicks and deals. Kirk checks his swing pitch down and away. Ball 3.
I mean, we'll probably look back at that catcher's interference as one of the biggest plays in this ballgame, if not this series. Such an important part of being a catcher is not reaching out.
Payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Kirk goes down, and that will do it for the inning. The Blue Jays score 5. 3 hits, 1 error committed. George Springer with the grand slam has made it 9-4 Blue Jays as we go to the 8th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the
Well, this is a World Series card. Everybody said, you know, what's it going to be to pitch against Sandy Koufax, who's a dominant pitcher? I said, I hope I don't embarrass myself. And I didn't. You know, pitched my first shutout ever. We won 6-0, and my parents were there. My mom was afraid of heights, so she was in the upper deck. She had to come down and trade seats with somebody so that she could actually watch her 20-year-old son pitch a shutout in the World Series.
Indigenous youth. Visit TikTokCanada.ca to learn more about how TikTok is helping small businesses in Canada make a big impact.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Springer charges the ball to left field. It's in the seats, and the Blue Jays are on the board.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership or the Sportsnet Radio Network. Some defensive changes for the Blue Jays. We'll get to them in a sec, but first, new pitcher into the game. Chad Green has taken over for the Blue Jays. 9-4, top of the 8th inning, and the pitch to DJ LeMahieu misses up and in, ball 1. Pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. One-0. Downstairs, 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, it's the job of Chad Green coming into this ball game now with the Blue Jays leading by 5 to just pound that strike zone. Make the Yankees get that bat on the ball.
2-0 pitch. Fouled back, 2-1.
There you go.
As Green works in this inning, we'll take a look at the baseball standings. Brought to you by Bet365. With Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and you can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Standings haven't changed since the day started. Yankees entered today 48-36, leading the division. Rays a game and a half back, 47-38, and the Blue Jays 2 back, 46-38. 2 1-hit foul by LeMahieu, 2-2. Boston is 7 back, 42-44, and the Orioles 11 back, 37-47. Blue Jays own the second wild card, half a game back of the first wild card spot holding Rays, 2 up on Seattle for the last spot as Green bounces in the 2-2. It's full count.
If the season ended today, did you see who the Jays would be playing?
Well, I did just read the standings, and you told me in between innings, but I'm going to guess the Tampa Bay Rays. Sorry, I had to.
Yeah,
I pulled the cover
You
back.
kind of want to stay away from them.
3-2. High ball 4. A lot of time, to be honest, for things to change standings-wise. Wasn't that long ago, the Blue Jays were 8 games back of the New York Yankees. And they are trying to get 6 more outs and become a team that's only 1 game back of the Yankees. Leadoff walk to LeMahieu. Paul Goldschmidt up. Nobody out. The pitch. Called strike.
Yariel Rodriguez continues to warm in that Blue Jays bullpen. I'm assuming he's going to come into this ball game if things get a little bit hairy.
Second day in a row for Green, a longtime Yankee himself. And a broken bat bouncer over the hill by Goldschmidt. Picked up. Andres Jimenez steps on second one, throws over to first for a 4-3 double play. That'll wipe the bases clean, and there are 2 down.
And I'm assuming that Yariel might slow down a bit, especially with 2 outs now in the inning. Even with Cody Bellinger, Aaron Judge coming up in this inning, you still have 2 outs. A great pitch from Chad Green there.
Exploded the bat of Paul Goldschmidt. 2 outs in the inning, 9-4 Blue Jays, and the right on left pitch to Bellinger. Inside, ball 1. We can get back to the text line, try and get a couple in before the end of the game. Sitting on the beach in Point Clark, the Alishers, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, wishing a happy Canada Day. Happy Canada Day to you. Cody Bellinger hitting one back foul, just a couple rows in front of us. It drops into the 200 level seats, and a very nice woman hands it over to a young kid who will keep that as a souvenir. 1-1. The pitch in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike. Aiden, Sarah, and Sharon, Lake Espanola, Ontario. Thanks so much for messaging in. 2-1 pitch popped up by Bellinger. Third base side of the diamond. Addison Barger took over at third. He'll make the catch and end the inning. No runs, no hits, none left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Blue Jays leading 9-4 over the New York Yankees. You're listening to Blue
City Connect replica jersey. City Connect Fridays. Night mode. Lights up. Let's go. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Guess who just bundled their home and auto with Desjardins Insurance?
Well, look at you, all grown up and saving money.
Yes, I am.
Mom told you to do it, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Get insurance that's really big on care. Switch and you could save up to 35% on home insurance when you bundle home and auto. Desjardins Insurance. Here for your home, auto, life, and business needs. Certain conditions apply.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swinging a fly ball, right field.
It's gone! On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays baseball. Bottom of the 8th inning. Nathan Lucas leading off. Came in defensively for Davis Schneider in left in the top half of the inning. And he fouls off the first pitch from Jeff Hartlieb in the bottom half. 0-1. Lucas, Straw, and Andres Jimenez do up this inning. Hartlieb came on, struck out Alejandro Kirk to finish off the 7th. 0-1 pitch, grounded foul, just past Mark Budzinski, the first base coach. It's 0-2. (9-4) Blue Jays, bottom of the 8th. The 5-run 7th is the difference. And the pitch down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch. Down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Happy Canada Day to everyone who tuned in today. It's been a fantastic day at Rogers Center. 40,000 strong, sun shining, back and forth action, and some big home runs. 2-2. High ball 3.
I will say quickly, Ben, that I never experienced Canada Day at Rogers Center as a player, but this is my second as a broadcaster with you, and I'm grateful for you. Oh. I'm grateful for Tom Young. I'm grateful for Show, Austin, Nick Blackmore, everybody that puts this show together every single day.
Absolutely. A great crew we get to work with on a daily basis. 3-2. Fouled away to the left. Derek Brandeo, Christian Chiniti, among others. Nathan Lucas will ask for time. Speaking of names, Dwayne, Michelle, and Cleo driving from Calgary to Brandon, Manitoba, I'm assuming, says Brandon. Listening to the Blue Jays game. Happy Canada Day to you 3. Next pitch to Lucas is high ball for a leadoff walk from Hartley. Scott is listening on the Rouge River right here in Toronto. Thanks so much for messaging Happy Canada Day. Ryan, Laura, and Sadie driving from Montreal to Kingston. Happy Canada Day to you. Miles Straw up the pitch. Called strike.
Are you almost through all the texts?
Not even close. Oh my gosh. Not even through maybe 1% of them. 0-1. Straw takes up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Happy Canada Day to 11-year-old Reed in Calgary, hanging with his dad and his dog, whose birthday it is, in Calgary, whittling some sticks while listening to the game. 1-1. Called strike. Check swing by Straw, and the slider just hit the outside corner. 1-2.
Whittling some sticks.
A skill that you are known to be able to do, Chris. One, 2. Down and away, 2-2. Another thing you're known for, just like Isaac. Happy Canada Day, Isaac, who's driving from Edmonton to Prince George, hauling up some cement.
Yeah.
That's just classic Chris LaRue behavior. 9-4 Blue Jays, no outs, runner on first. 2-2 to Straw. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Late decision to swing at it, and he just tipped it into the glove of Vizcarra. 1 out. Scott just north of Muskoka. Whaley Lake. Appreciate you listening. Hope the power gets on soon, and have a happy Canada Day. First pitch to Andres Jimenez is lined foul, 0-1.
You should know how to pronounce that city. You have a nice big cottage up there, don't you?
Just not even remotely true. I think you have to own a house before you start buying secondary ones.
We'll get you there one day.
If you're buying. 1 out, Lucas on first, 0-1 to Jimenez. High and outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Happy Canada Day to Amy driving from St. John to Fredericton, New Brunswick. Thanks so much for texting in. 1-1. Just a little bit low. Borderline pitch, could have gone Hartlieb's way, but instead it's called a ball, 2-1. Really nice words from Glenn in Havelock. Thanks for messaging Happy Canada Day to you, Glenn. Sue and Rob on Sauble Beach. Trying my best here. Happy Canada Day. 2-1 pitch in the dirt. Taken for a ball by Andres Jimenez, the left-handed hitter. 3 balls and 1 strike. Jeffrey in Kitchener just messaging in. Happy Canada Day to you. Sounds like a great meal. No free sponsors, so I'm not going to shout it out, but it does sound like a great meal, what he just said. 3-1 pitch hit foul, 3-2.
Can you show your computer to me?
I can.
Yeah, that is great.
Sounds great. We got Larry listening in Dublin, Ireland. Happy Canada Day to you, Larry. Full count to Andres Jimenez, 1 out. Lucas on first. And the pitch from Jeff Hartley. No, he steps off and throws to first to dive back in by Nathan Lucas. A lot of Calgary representation today. Kim in Calgary messaging. Red jersey on the deck with the dogs, listening to the Blue Jays. Sounds like a great Canada Day. 3-2 pitch. Lucas takes off, and it's in the dirt, ball 4. 2 walks and 3 batters this inning for Hartley. First and second with 1 out.
Seems like he's nibbling just a little bit. I'm sure Boone in that Yankees dugout is thinking to himself, just pound the strike zone, get us back to this dugout. It's really all you can ask for in this situation. Down by 5 in the bottom of the 8th inning here.
Tyler Heineman to hit. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run score. First and second, 1 out. 9-4 Blue Jays, bottom 8. And the first pitch high and outside to Heineman, ball 1. The Hatzapan family in BC messaging in. Just finishing up their U11 female fast pitch tournament at Softball City. Hope it went well. Happy Canada Day. 1-0. Hit on the ground, foul, 1-1. You'll like this one, Chris. Debbie in Port Credit in Mississauga texted in. She's at Canada Day Street Fest. Happy Canada Day, Debbie.
Never been, but I do love Port Credit.
A look to second by Hartley as 1-1 to Heineman fouled back. And the right-handed reliever for the Yankees is ahead of the Blue Jay catcher, 1-2. Aiden and Robin texting in. They're in Regina, Saskatchewan right now. Next pitch is hit very high by Heineman. A pop-up that's going to drift foul out of play into the seats down the right field line. Peter Wasco from London, Ontario texting in. Happy Canada Day to you. Blue Jays looking to add here, already up by 5 in the bottom of the 8th. Hartlieb's 1-2. Poke down the right field line. This could be trouble, but it hooks out of play into the netting in front of Club 328. Marcel and Nancy on Lake Rousseau, Ontario texted in. Happy Canada Day.
Lake Rosso.
Rosso? It's a lot of names. I'm
Come on,
trying.
man. You're a Muskoka local. Let's go.
I'm really not. These allegations are insane. 1-2. Foul tip. Held on to by Escara. Strike 3. There's a verifiable way to prove I have not been to any cottage in the last 2 years. It's called the Sportsnet Radio Network on a daily basis. Well, we are not calling many games from the dock.
Yeah, but you have an off day once every couple of weeks. You could scoot up there and do some vacuuming, manicure the yard a little bit.
I just own a cottage. First pitch to Addison Barger, misses outside, ball 1. If anyone on the text line wants to invite me to their cottage, I'm more than happy to go. First and second, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. Addison Barger up, 9-4 Blue Jays. The pitch, hit on the ground, foul. Might have snapped the bat of Barger. I think it did. He's walking back to the dugout, and it's a 1-1 count. Chris in Calgary texted in, happy Canada Day to you, Chris. Kevin in Havelock, happy Canada Day. Emily, Jamie, and Jason in Washington State, USA, camping right now. Happy Canada Day to you guys. Thanks for texting in. Liam in Bolton, playing baseball right now and listening/watching the Blue Jays. Appreciate your support. Happy Canada Day. Barger's got a new piece of wood. Runners on first and second. Lucas on second. Andres Jimenez on first. And with 2 outs, the 1-1 pitch to Addison Barger. Hit hard foul down the right field line on the ground. It's 1-2. More Calgary on the text line. Blair and Tamsin listening. They're going back to Calgary after a camping trip. Happy Canada Day. Next pitch to Barger is poked out towards second and past LeMahieu into right field. Late stop sign, Lucas puts on the brakes at third. At second base, Andres Jimenez. Barger at first a bit of a groan because after the stop sign, a poor throw from Aaron Judge, but it was too late for Lucas. He had already thrown on the brakes.
Yeah, you don't want to risk anything leading by 5 runs in the 9th inning. Of course, that you want to pad that lead just a little bit. You want to get Addison Barger an RBI in that situation, but Aaron Judge has a very good arm. Didn't throw it perfectly to home plate, and Nathan Lucas probably would have been safe at home, but I think that's a good call over there from third base coach Carlos Fablis.
Pitching coach for the Yankees coming out to the hill. It's Matt Blake talking to Jeff Hartlieb, so we can go to some more text. Dustin in Saskatoon, some incredibly nice words. Really appreciate that. Hope you have a great Canada Day yourself. Got a text from Bonfield, Ontario. No name, but thank you so much for tuning in. And a happy Canada Day to you. Gerard and Charlene driving home to Fort McMurray, Alberta. Happy 25th wedding anniversary. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Canada Day to you as well. Mound meeting over, bases loaded, 2 down. 9-4 Blue Jays. The pitch to Ernie Clement is in the dirt, off the right thigh of the catcher Escara, who scrambles to pick it up in the dirt circle. 0-1. Pardon me, 1-0. Set near the belt. Hartlieb's 1-0. Inside and low, 2-0. Just want to wish Bob and Betty from North Bay a happy 58th wedding anniversary today. Hope that you're doing well, and happy Canada Day to you. 2-0. Clement takes it just low, ball 3. Nowhere to put him. Hartlieb a ball away from walking in a run.
I would imagine that he's taking all the way here, but wouldn't it be fun to swing at a fastball right down the middle with the bases loaded?
He's not much of a taker, Ernie Clement. I feel like he might go after something. 3-0. He was taking all the way. Take strike 1. Although the Springer grand slam is the big play, it was actually Clement last inning that gave the Blue Jays the lead. He came up with an RBI single to make it 5-4. It's now 9-4 for Toronto. 3-1 pitch. On the outside corner, strike 2.
How about Hartlieb? Has thrown 40 pitches now in his outing. Hasn't given up a run yet, though.
Only faced 1 batter in the 7th. He's pitched all of this bottom of the 8th. Walked 2 and given up a hit. Next pitch down and away, ball 4, and that'll walk in a run. 10-4 Blue Jays as Nathan Lucas strides home. Jimenez up to third, Barger down to second, and Ernie Clement with another RBI today goes to first.
That's a good job from Ernie Clement, not being too antsy in that situation. A fastball count, you tend to try to do too much, especially with the bases loaded. He just takes his walk, takes his RBI, and moves the line.
Bases loaded, 2 down, George Springer up. First pitch is low, ball 1. A huge applause for Springer, who hit the big grand slam in the 7th, one of 2 homers he's hit today. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a liner down in left center field, a base hit. Jogging home Jimenez. Barger sprints in behind him. Up to third, Ernie Clement. Springer has driven in 7 runs, and the Blue Jays lead 12-4 in the 8th.
What a game for George Springer. That man is pumped up at first base right now. What a huge addition to this lineup, not only today, but this whole season. My goodness.
Unbelievable production from Springer today, and he knocks Hartlieb out of the game with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Runners on first and third, Blue Jays up 12-4. Let's go back to today's host. Here's Show Ali.
Thanks very much, guys. Let's continue checking on that St. Louis.
To 4 at Rogers Center. A 3-run inning for the Blue Jays. Aaron Boone is just trying to get through this ball game. He's going to go to another reliever. JT Brubaker's on in a pitch and change, brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Max Fried went 6 innings, and the Yankees have needed 4 relievers, needed 4 of them, to try and get through 2 innings of work since. Pitch to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. outside, ball 1.
Looking at the score now, you wouldn't think that Max Fried started this ball game, that's for sure.
Blue Jays did get to Fried, second most that anyone has this year, putting 4 earned runs on his line. 1-0. Swing and a miss by Vlad, chasing a breaking ball in the dirt, 1-1.
Most important thing for the Yankees right now is just not destroying that bullpen. There's still 2 pretty big games coming up with the Blue Jays tomorrow and the next day. This is a 4-game series.
The 1-1. Check swing pitch in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike. The Yankees have used almost everyone that was available to them today. You figure probably no Tim Hill. He had gone back-to-back days. Probably no Jonathan Loaizaga, because he had also gone consecutive days. 2-1 to Vlad. High ball 3. So the only guy they haven't used, well, 2 of them. Devin Williams, who's their closer. They weren't going to use him. And then Ian Hamilton, who's still fairly high leverage for the Yankees. Outside of that, they've used every available reliever. 3-1. Called strike. Pitch on the inside edge. Vladdy started to head down to first. A smile from him. I do think that pitch was probably a strike. It's 3-2.
I tell you what, though, if I'm Vlad, I want to swing the bat here. Runners at first and third. You have a guy that really hasn't pitched in the big leagues all that much this season. Probably trying to throw a strike in this situation. I'm getting big.
Full count, 2 outs, first and third. Springer off on the pitch, and Guerrero strikes out swinging to end the inning. The Blue Jays score 3 on 2 hits, also 3 walks in the frame, and going to the top of the 9th, they have a 12-4 lead over the division-leading New York Yankees. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app.
Game Day Men's Health. Feel like you again.
This summer, meet the moment invigorated with the luxury of Lincoln. There's never been a better time to experience everything Lincoln has to offer. With lease rates starting at 0.99% APR for up to 48 months, including a 1% loyalty rate reduction on select new 2025 Lincoln models. Don't miss out. Visit TorontoLincolnDealers.com or contact your local Toronto Lincoln dealer to discover exclusive offers tailored to you.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
The 0-2 pitch. Fastball, strike three looking.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The ninth inning is brought to you by Shell V-Power Nitro Plus. Want more from your vehicle? Try Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline, fueling every drive with a fuel like no other. Blue Jays leading the Yankees 12-4. Pitching change for the Blue Jays brings Yariel Rodriguez into the game. The pitching change is brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Aaron Judge to lead it off for the Yankees. New York down by 8 with 3 outs to work with. Rodriguez deals home, and the pitch misses inside, nearly getting Judge on the lead left arm. Ball 1. Judge today, 2 for 2, a double, a single, and 2 walks, one of them intentional. 6 outside, 2-0. Rodriguez, who started last year on Canada Day against the Houston Astros, trying to finish off this year's game. 2-0. High, ball 3.
Normally, I would say you should probably pound the strike zone up 12-4 in the ninth inning, but this is a different situation with Aaron Judge standing at home plate.
(3-0). Down and away, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Judge.
One of the few times that I would probably be okay with a walk here up by 8 runs. Yariel Rodriguez probably isn't okay with that. You could see he was trying to throw strikes in that situation, but here comes John Schneider.
With the training staff immediately. And this is no good. Blue Jays went to Rodriguez. They don't really have many other options right now. They've used pretty much everyone else who's available.
I think the mound is there's something with the mound, so that's okay.
So it's not the training staff.
Man, that is a good thing that the field crew is coming out and not any of the training staff.
So they will fix up the landing spot here as the Blue Jays sit on the precipice of winning each of the first 2 games of this series. Filling in some dirt right now, raking it down. We can go back to the text line. Why not, as we're getting close to this one wrapping up. Kev and the Woodward crew camping in Golden, British Columbia. Happy Canada Day. Happy Canada Day to Jeremy from Meaford. You got a read on that, Chris? All right, you don't. From the look on your face. Beer garden looks great, though. Happy Canada Day. Hope everything is going well.
I know Lake Rosso. That's about it.
Okay. Sarah and Doug in Kelowna. Happy Canada Day to you. David in Tantalon, Nova Scotia. Tantalon. Hope your recovery is going well. Happy Canada Day to you. Andrea and Kenzie, happy Canada Day as they drive from Montreal to Kitchener. Oh, and Nick, who lost his phone earlier and texted in to us, he found it. So
nice.
That's good.
Nice.
That's good. Now he can get the Sportsnet app. That was the deal.
There you go.
Mound maintenance is over. Aaron Judge on first. No hold on the runner with the Blue Jays up 12-4 in the top of the ninth. No outs in the pitch to Jazz Chisholm Jr. Low ball 1. 5 straight balls from Rodriguez to start the frame.
Now you got to throw strikes. Aaron Judge standing at first base, no excuses.
The 1-0. Inside, ball 2. Big lead for Judge. He'll take off for second as the pitch is ripped foul down the right field line. Judge will have to return to first base, and that's the first strike of the inning for Rodriguez on a 95-mile-an-hour four-seamer.
How about the athleticism from first base umpire Eric Backus jumping over that baseball, that hard-hit ground ball from Jazz Chisholm.
The 2-1 pitch. Hit back foul, 2-2. Chisholm 0 for 2 today. Pop out fielder's choice, 2 walks. Rodriguez looking into the plate, the 2-2. Outside, ball 3. It's the third time the Blue Jays have ever played the Yankees on Canada Day. Other two were in the mid to late 80s before this ballpark was built. So this is the first time the Yankees have been in town for a July 1st game at Rogers Center. 3-2. Hit on the ground, foul. A slider that's bouncing away from home plate right side, and we'll do it again.
I can't be the only one that thinks that's hard to believe.
Comes from the game notes mouth.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's hard to believe.
Chisholm asks for time, kicking away some dirt in the box. Full count, nobody out, runner on first, top of the 9th. 8-run game. Most of the fans hanging around to see the end of it. The pitch. Poked very high in the air to shallow right field. Springer was playing deep, but he'll come in to right center and make the catch. 1 down.
There you go. It's a pretty good slider. Finally getting the first out of the inning after throwing 11 pitches. Gets Chisholm there. Pop out to right field. Let's see if Giancarlo Stanton can hit into a double play here.
Stanton 0 for 3. A walk, 2 strikeouts, and he reached on an error once. Got an RBI on that ground ball. The pitch, Judge off for second, swing and a miss, strike 1. Defensive indifference getting Judge to second. He does not get a stolen base. A 1. Hit on a line, and that ball will get down in left field, a base hit. Judge getting a stop sign, puts on the brakes at third. Stopping at first is Stanton. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Get back to the text in just a moment. Jason Dominguez about to hit for the Yankees. 12-4 Blue Jays. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Top of the 9th. Caleb and Mike from Marybeth. Marybeth, Caleb, and Mike from a provincial park outside of Perry Sound. Happy Canada Day to you guys. First pitch misses outside to Jason Dominguez, ball 1. The Burnett's poolside in Port Colborne, Ontario. That sounds great. Happy Canada Day to you guys. 1-0 to Dominguez. Hit on the ground towards the shortstop Clement. Underhand flip to Jimenez, 1. Throw to first, not in time. Judge comes in to score from third, and the game continues as the Yankees make it 12-5 on an RBI fielder's choice by Dominguez. Blue Jays taking a look because why wouldn't you with 2 outs in the 9th? They decide not to challenge.
Got to give credit to Jason Dominguez. They're running hard, down by 8 runs in the 9th inning. Breaking up that double play. Yeah, he's safe. We're getting the replay now, but maybe by about a half a step at first base. That ends up being an earned run for Yariel Rodriguez.
Runner on first, 2 down, 12-5 Blue Jays. The pitch to Anthony Volpe. Dominguez takes off, and the pitch fouled back 0-1. Get a couple in Before we go, Susan from the Streetsville area. Happy Canada Day. She's just up the road from Streetsville and the Tigers. Oh, one runner off again, and that pitch inside at 98.
Nobody from Vaughan today, or am I wrong?
I just don't know. There's so many. I just don't know.
Well, nobody that you've read.
Yeah, I think last year I probably got one from pretty close to where I grew up, but yeah, I can't find one. Nick from Sussex, New Brunswick. Happy Canada Day to you. Enjoy the drive to Quebec City. Runner on second, 2 down. And Rodriguez is going to step off for my favorite part of this sport, pitch comm malfunction. It's so fun. All right, we didn't have to bring a new one on the field, so I'll take it back. 2 outs, runner on second, 1-1 count. 12-5 Blue Jays, top of the 9th inning. And the pitch. Foul tipped. And it's a 2-2 count. The Blue Jays a strike away from ensuring at minimum a split in this series and taking a Canada Day contest from the Yankees. Rodriguez cupping his left ear to hear the signal. Sets at the bell. His 2-2 to Volpe. Low, ball 3. When with the slider at 85, I wonder if on 3-2 he just says, I'll put it out there, you try to hit it with a fastball. 19-pitch inning for the right-hander. Fans on their feet, 40,000 strong. The pitch, poked in the air to shallow right. Moving back, Jimenez makes the grab, and the Blue Jays steamroll the Yankees on Canada Day.
Well, I know
12-5.
I know the final score doesn't seem like it, but this was a very hard-fought win. It was a tight ball game until late in this ball game. Max Fried came into today's game giving up 3 earned runs or more just twice this season, and he gives up 4 earned runs. The Blue Jays end up with a much-needed victory.
Blue Jays win the game 12-5. We'll take a quick step aside, wrap it up on the other side with the play of the game, and get you over to Blue Jays Talk. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is